into the side netting on the volley. Brilliant bit of skill at the left corner of the box, lobbed it over the top of the defender, and then as it came down, dropped over his shoulder, neatly whipped towards goal on the right-footed volley into the side netting. So Great Britain bring the ball away, 2-1 up Great Britain. Argentina's goal back in it from Le Green. And Fletcher down the left-hand side here for Great Britain. Works it over halfway with a short pass towards Barker, down Great Britain's left. Back he comes to Fletcher on halfway. Works it inside his own half, just outside the centre circle to Dimbolo. Central position to Glynn, still just shy of the centre circle. And then up and over halfway with a short pass to Barker. Barker with a low ball to his near left-hand side to Fletcher. Fletcher with a work ball in towards the left corner of the box to Diallo. Back towards halfway to Barker. Barker steps inside to a central position. Low ball back towards Diallo's direction. Argentina with players back, and the ball runs into the arms of Gutierrez. Gutierrez in the Argentina goal. It towards the right edge of the penalty area. The ball in his hand, bounces it once and then volleys away downfield, high towards Argentina's right-hand side. One bounce and the ball just skips on behind for a goal kick for Great Britain. 36 minutes gone here at the Riverbank Arena in this classification match. Great Britain 2, Argentina 1. Great Britain bring the ball away from the right corner of their penalty area with the captain, Matt Dimbolo, crossing over halfway and then working it down that right-hand side to the feet of Barker. Barker has Richmond for support, but Barker keeps on going down that right-hand side, down by the corner flag. Low cut back towards the edge of the area, swept behind by Correa. Corner for Great Britain. Right-hand side. Great Britain with Diallo going across there to take. Already delivered a fine corner at the end of that first half, which Dimbolo headed home. And now Diallo will go over towards the right-hand side for Great Britain for a left-footed in-swinger from that far side. Diallo, left-footed ball into the penalty area, very deep, too deep, and behind for a goal kick. So goal kick for Argentina. They'll regroup from the right edge of their inner box. Gutierrez will spot the ball down for Morana to take. And Morana for Argentina from the right-hand side of the inner box will dispatch away downfield with a right-footed clearance all the way up towards Argentina's right-hand side. A couple of bounces taken into the left-back position, and Glenn just trying to shepherd that out, but Argentina managed to hook the foot round it to bring it back towards the corner of the area, and then Fletcher has to try and keep it in play, and does so brilliantly. The little backwards header to Barker. Great Britain from the centre circle now, powering forward with Dimbolo. Tries to slot one through towards the corner of the box. Vivot is there now for Argentina. Left-hand side for them. Tries to play one down the line. Just going to run out of pitch, but it's kept in play though by Correa, according to the official far side. Great Britain head the ball away now with Diallo. Brings it over halfway, just outside the centre circle. Now into the centre circle he goes and works one towards this near left-hand side. Barker for Great Britain, just inside Argentina's half. Short ball towards the edge of the box, left corner. Diallo steps inside the penalty area, just outside the box, left-hand side. Corner that will be for Great Britain, overruled by the referee, and he's given that as a goal kick. Diallo infuriated by the decision, but a goal kick given for Argentina, right-hand side of their inner box, and Morana will take. 38 minutes gone here in this Paralympic 7-a-side classification match. Clearance away by Argentina towards their right. The Quiz tries to get there, ball just bouncing away, and given as a free kick for Argentina on halfway, right-hand side, a couple of yards in from this right. The Quiz, the number 3 for Argentina, will take. Puts the ball down on the halfway line and then looks for options away downfield. Argentina sending 3 players in towards the edge of the D in a central position. The Quiz just indicating Fletcher has not got his distance there before he can take this free kick. So left-footed ball by Lequise, high up towards the edge of the area. Dimbolo goes to meet the header out. Barker flicks it on and all the way back into Argentina's half with the free kick taker Lequise. Just outside the D, central position, charged down by Barker and spins back into the arms of Gutierrez. Gutierrez for Argentina, just short of the penalty spot inside his own area. He'll look to volley away downfield, right-footed clearance, high towards Argentina's right-hand side. The corner of the box and headed away by Great Britain, picked up by Lequise, and then worked towards Vivot. Vivot just outside the centre circle, central position, goes up towards the edge of the box. Vivot from the edge of the area into the bottom corner. Vivot equalises for Argentina, stabs it left-footed into the bottom corner. And Great Britain are pegged back after a 2-goal lead. It's now 2-2, 40 minutes gone, and Vivot with the finish into the bottom corner as he progressed through the D, just inside the edge of the area. and then stabbed it into the bottom corner. 2-2 here at the Riverbank Arena. So Great Britain to get back underway again from the centre circle. Diallo back into his own half by a couple of yards. Work back centrally now to the feet of Dimbolo. He progresses over halfway and then slips one down that right-hand side. Great Britain trying to work the ball with Richmond and Barker. Barker in possession, weaving free, right corner of the penalty area. Barker tries to cut it back, no one there though, and he only found a blue shirt of Argentina. Correa brings it away, and Vivot will cross over halfway left-hand side. Works it into the channel to Fernandez Romano. He brings it back centrally. Vivot the target on the edge of the D. Fletcher's there for Great Britain, only 17-year-old, right down in the left-back position, allowing it to run out of play. Great Britain throw, left-hand side for them, deep in defence. Great Britain 2, Argentina 2, and the ball out of play now from that throw for an Argentina throw down their right-hand side. Worked in towards the corner of the box. Correa rolled the defender, but it was a foul before Correa lobs the ball into the open goal over the top of Connell, who was left clattered on the floor there. The Great Britain goalkeeper Connell. Physio needed to come on for him. Correa trying to continue. The whistle had already gone for a foul by Correa as he rolled the defender in the penalty area. Play continued, and Connell is flat out at the moment inside the area there, and some treatment needed. So Connell, a little bit of a worry here, is on his back inside the area at the moment. 2 physios are on. He really did take a clattering there as Correa lobbed the ball over the top of him. Once the whistle had already gone as well, Correa continuing to try and bustle his way through into the area, lobbed the ball towards goal, and a couple more physios just coming on now to give Connell a bit of treatment. So breaking play, so 2 apiece here at the Riverbank Arena. Great Britain 2, Argentina 2. Great Britain going 2-0 up in the game. Diallo, and then a header from Dimbolo, the captain, but then back with a goal from Le Green. And then there was that talking point just before half-time when Le Green, direct from a free kick, lobbed over the top of Connell into the goal, but disallowed for a push in the area. And then Argentina are level now after Vivot made a run into the area, away to my right-hand side, just into the right corner with the D, and then stamped his effort towards goal with the outside of his right boot into the bottom corner to level things up. So Great Britain 2, Argentina 2, and a bit of a break in play at the moment then, while Connell is thankfully sitting up now. Two physios still down there with Connell, administering a bit of treatment, but Connell is thankfully sat back up now. Hopefully should be okay. Great Britain do of course have a substitute goalkeeper on the bench as an option, Billy Thompson, could it be needed. It really was a tough collision for Connell to bear there inside the area. He came out bravely. Correa, the bouncing ball coming towards him, but it is going to be a free kick for Great Britain, not for that incident. Incidentally, it was one just previous to that where Correa had fouled the defender. That's what the free kick was given for. Looks like we may well see a change. Great Britain are getting ready for their goalkeeper to come on. Connell may take a little while to recover anyway from that. Knocked out the result of that. Great Britain using the break in play just to receive a bit of instructions, and a Mexican wave makes its way around the side of the pitch. Connell is back on his feet. The physio's still checking that he's okay. So a brief break in play then in this classification match. So just to reiterate the outcome of this game then, so the winners of this match will go through to face Netherlands in the battle for 5th place. The losers will take on United States or America, and they will be battling them out to see who finishes 7th and 8th respectively. So Connell is brought off the pitch to this near side, walking off with the physios over to this near side, and Connell will come off. In comes Billy Thompson in goal for Great Britain. The Billy Thompson, who's played 31 minutes up till now of this year's competition, has been brought on for Connell, who won't recover in time to get back underway as quickly as possible for Great Britain. So it is a Great Britain free kick, and Billy Thompson, the substitute, will gather the ball from the back of his net and then working out to the left edge of his area where that free kick is to be taken from for the initial foul by Correa on the defender. So Glyn will take 45 minutes gone here at the Riverbank Arena. It will be added on time. At the moment, we could well be heading to extra time as well if the scores stay as they are. Great Britain back towards the edge of their D. Dimbolo will bring it clear from defence over towards the right-hand side, just shy of halfway. Richmond trying to turn behind the defender, but good tackle comes back and Argentina have it with Bivot. Tries to slip the ball to the left corner of the box, coming together between the two players as Thompson in possession for Great Britain. So Billy Thompson rolls it away to his left-hand side, and Great Britain will bring it out of defence now with Glyn. Low ball doesn't quite find its target, and quickly won back by Bivot for Argentina, just inside Great Britain's half of the field, central position. Trying to slot it inside the box, Johnson's there, edge of his inner box to gather. Rolls it away to his right-hand side to Dimbolo, the captain for Great Britain. Striding forward up towards halfway, slips the ball up towards Barker, right-hand side, 10 yards away from the corner of the box, back into the box towards Dimbolo, the goalkeeper's out and gathers comfortably. So Gutierrez for Argentina, central position of his goal, brings it out towards the edge of the box, and then we'll look to clear away downfield for Argentina. A little break in play. We've got a substitution coming up in just a moment, but at present Argentina just have a man just tying his laces, so that's the break in play. But there is going to be a change in just a moment. 47 minutes gone here at the Riverbank Arena. Great Britain 2, Argentina 2. Argentina in possession with their goalkeeper Gutierrez, and he volleys away downfield, high clearance, direct towards the edge of the D. Diallo got the header there, and it drops out of play down Argentina's right-hand side, level with Great Britain's penalty area. So Argentina throw, Luquez will take. May leave it for Marana, but Luquez does throw up towards the edge of the area. Diallo with the header away, and Diallo just caught there from a high boot from Argentina's Correa, who instantly apologises, and it is a free kick as a result for Great Britain. A couple of yards away from the left corner of their penalty area for the high boot there on Correa on Diallo. Great Britain will bring it away. Central position, Fletcher, low drive towards goal, beaten away by the goalkeeper in a corner. So straight away up the pitch, and Fletcher instantly taking the strike on from distance. The goalkeeper taking no chances and pushing the ball away. So a corner it will be for Great Britain down their left-hand side. Diallo will take down the left for Great Britain. Plenty of players in the area for Argentina to defend this. And Diallo delivers, in towards the area it goes, clipped away, little grazed head on that from Marana, took it en route, and that should be a Great Britain throw. He's been awarded by the match official, and a throw for Great Britain down their right-hand side, midway through Argentina's half of the field, and Richmond will roll it in short to Diallo. Under pressure though, has it taken off him, and Le Green skips away to the left-hand side, just short of halfway. Over halfway by a couple of yards to Fernandez Romano, and the ball just knocked out of play for an Argentina throw. On halfway left-hand side, Le Green is going to take, but may well get that substitution first. We are, so a substitution to be made. Great Britain making that change, and coming on is Patterson. Johnny Patterson about to be introduced. Coming off is Richmond. James Richmond for Patterson. Right, we'll get back underway then. An Argentina free kick on halfway, left-hand side for them. And a right-footed ball high up towards the edge of the area. Great Britain header just drops towards the edge of the penalty area. They're trying to clear the ball away. Patterson trying to get involved instantly, but Fernandez Romano has it for Argentina. Right corner of the penalty area. Trying to turn beyond the defender. Works it back to Correa. Correa at the right corner. Tries to lob it in towards goal. Goalkeeper gathers. Well gathered by Thompson, and feeds it away short to his right-hand side to Dimbolo. And Dimbolo will progress down that right-hand side, up through his own half to a central position to Diallo. Just inside Argentina's half, Barker turns up towards the right corner of the box, trying to clip one centrally to Diallo. Brings it down on the edge of the D. Barker trying to spray a ball back across field. claims for handball, waved away by the referee, and Le Green brings it away for Argentina. Left-hand side, over halfway, Fletcher stays with him and does enough to stab it back to the right-back position, where Dimbolo will pick it up now for Great Britain. Ball at his feet, right-hand side. Great Britain's captain feeds it away to the halfway line to Barker, trying to turn away from the challenge, trying to roll one down that right-hand side, and Fletcher keeps the ball in play. Rolled infield a couple of yards to Barker. Barker trying to switch it centrally to Diallo now. Diallo tries a little drag back, but Vivot stays with him. Diallo, nice turn, just outside the centre circle. Still has it for Great Britain. Up towards the left corner of the box. Barker takes over on the turn, trying to thread it back again. Works it left-hand side now to Patterson. Patterson with a bit of space. Short ball in towards the edge of the area, is a little bit loose though, and easily picked up by Argentina, and Correa. He stabs it over halfway centrally, and Patterson is back there for Great Britain, tracking back and clearing the way back down Great Britain's left-hand side. And a little interception by Barker just to knock it out of play. Argentina throw 10 yards away from the right corner of their penalty area, and worked in centrally towards the halfway line to Morana. He lobs the ball, bouncing downfield. Glynn is there to initially head away, ball at his feet, and then works it to the left-hand side for Great Britain. Patterson is short of Barker, over halfway by a yard to Barker. He half volleys the ball across field towards Fletcher. Chests the ball down with his back to the edge of the area and feeds it all the way back right-hand side. And the ball threaded back infield now for Great Britain, just at the edge of the centre circle at the feet of Diallo. Diallo, short pass to his left-hand side, to the feet of Glynn, who comes forward from the back, just inside Argentina's half. Further down by the left-hand side now to the feet of Barker. Back it goes to Glynn once more, just inside Argentina's half, and then further down the left-hand side again to Barker. Great Britain keeping possession without really penetrating as yet. Back to a more central position to Patterson. Patterson's left-footed strike dragged wide off the far post. Goal kick. Patient play by Great Britain, working it back to a central position. And Patterson, the substitute, just spun on the edge of the area, about 5 yards outside the D. Left-footed strike towards that far corner, same corner which Le Green found in the first half, and just unable to capitalise. As Argentina clear away, Morana's clearance high downfield, header by Correa, drops across towards the left-hand side for Argentina, Great Britain's right-back position. Good play by Glynn. He half volleys the ball away, but loops straight out of play, and that's an Argentina throw on halfway down their left-hand side. 53 minutes gone here at the Riverbank Arena. Le Green will take from halfway left-hand side. Le Green with a short roll infield. Nice spin towards a more central position there by Argentina. And a strike towards goal, low towards Thompson's right, and he goes down and holds it well. Good save by Billy Thompson in goal for Great Britain. Away to his right-hand side, holding the ball well from a low drive from distance from Argentina. Great Britain bring the ball forward, just over halfway with Patterson. Back into their own half they go again, and then work centrally by Glynn to Dimbolo, midway through their own half of the field, and then up just over halfway right-hand side. Right-hand side now with Fletcher. Back towards halfway, loose ball, and Dimbolo's going to have to track that one back and bring it towards the edge of the centre circle. So Matt Dimbolo for Great Britain. Towards this near left-hand side now, Patterson back to Dimbolo again on halfway, left of centre, up towards Barker, little tee off to Diallo, continues his run Barker, quick play by Morana to hit the ball away. Patterson tries to lob it back centrally, just outside the penalty area here at the left corner of the box, and a free kick for Great Britain has been awarded. Patterson has been eased off the ball there by Correa, and a free kick in a promising position, about 5 yards away from the corner of the penalty area, almost in line with it from a Great Britain point of view. Diallo is there to take. Two-man Argentina wall just being formulated on the corner of the penalty area, just inside that corner of the box by a couple of yards. Real opportunity here for Great Britain with 54 minutes gone, and Diallo looks interested in this. Diallo for Great Britain, left-footed, works it short to the edge of the D. Patterson arriving side-footed, hits Morana and bounces away, and out for a throw for Great Britain. Left-hand side, near left here for Diallo. Diallo has Patterson as an option, and Patterson back to Diallo, back to Patterson again. Threaded pass, trying to play it back infield, but easily picked off by Correa, and he steams away down the right. Diallo's there again, across to meet it and slide the ball away for a throw for Argentina. Midway through Great Britain's half of the field, down their right-hand side. Argentina taking that too quickly, so it'll have to come back to Luquez again before he can take. Brilliant tackle by Diallo though, back there to defend. So the throw for Argentina, right-hand side, midway through Great Britain's half of the field. Thrown long towards the corner of the box, only half-headed away. Vivox picks it up in a central position for Argentina. Midway through Great Britain's half of the field, towards the left corner of the box. Dimbolo in the way, manages to shoulder the ball clear. Vivox header hits Dimbolo again on the edge of his area. Vivox inside the box, left-hand side, couldn't keep it in play, and the ball just runs behind for a goal kick. So Thompson will gather for Great Britain, right corner of the inner box. 55 minutes gone here at the Riverbank Arena. Works short and outside the area to Glynn. Back centrally he goes towards Dimbolo. Dimbolo over towards the right-hand side on halfway with Fletcher, just dropping into his own half by a couple of yards, feeds it back to Dimbolo, then continues his run up towards Barker. Barker right-hand side for Great Britain, 5 yards inside Argentina's half. Fletcher rolls the defender, Le Green, up towards the right-hand side, good tackle by Le Green, excellent recovery, corner far right-hand side for Great Britain. Le Green recovered well, Fletcher rolled him down the line, spun to latch onto it, and then the tackle back from Le Green, just doing enough to prod the ball away for a corner for Great Britain down their right-hand side. Great Britain corner, far right, Diallo across there to take. In front of the east stand, right-hand side for Great Britain, and a left-footed delivery it will be. Dimbolo arriving again, fizzed in low to the middle, just deflects away from Le Green, and out towards this near left-hand side of the penalty area. Marana just there ahead of Great Britain's runner, and the ball cleared in towards Great Britain's half, under pressure. Glynn does well just to knock the ball away to the right-hand side to Diallo, and Great Britain will come over halfway again. Diallo now brings it back centrally, left-footed drive from distance, deflects, and spins behind for a corner. Diallo, drop of the shoulder, infield, a good distance out, thundered an effort towards goal, still 10 yards away from the edge of the D in a central position, and the deflection takes it away for a Great Britain corner down their left-hand side. Diallo to take down the left-hand side for Great Britain again on this near side. 3 players clustered in and around the edge of the D at the present, making a late run into the middle. Diallo floats it into the area, far post, header into the air by Dimbolo, will drop right over by the goal line far side, and volleyed away by Correa down the line for Argentina. Up towards the centre circle, brave header wide on this left-hand side from Great Britain's, too firm now, and that's an Argentina throw, just short of halfway, down their right-hand side, and Lequise will take from this right for Argentina. Just inside their own half by a couple of yards. He's looking for options. 58 minutes gone, but there will be a good chunk of added on time for that injury for Connell. Great Britain to this near left-hand side. Diallo lobs it over the top, too much on it towards Dimbolo, and the goalkeeper gathers. Gutierrez out sharply to the right-hand side of his penalty area, and gratefully receives the ball as it bounces his way, and then he will volley away downfield. High clearance, direct by Gutierrez, up towards the edge of the area, came off Patterson's head and behind for an Argentina corner. So Argentina down their right-hand side, fast approaching the late stages of this game. Great Britain 2, Argentina 2. Remember, if it remains this way, we will have extra time and then possibly even penalties if needed. Corner for Argentina though, right-hand side, and Great Britain have got to be alert to defend this now. Lequise to take down their right-hand side, a left-footed delivery from Lequise in towards the penalty area, header towards goal, and the goalkeeper will gather from the edge of his inner box, and Thompson throws the ball away, underarm first time, bouncing downfield for Fletcher to try and latch onto. Fletcher goes down under the challenge, a fair challenge by Correa, who has it now for Argentina. Works it centrally, midway through their own half to Marana. Now Le Green slightly over towards the left-hand side, and a loose ball by Le Green goes straight out of play. Great Britain throw on halfway. Quickly worked in short by Barker. Too quickly though, and Argentina quickly have it back. Fletcher knocks the ball towards that left-hand side of Argentina, and Fletcher has it, feeding it back. The ball had already just gone out of play, and that will be an Argentina throw midway through Great Britain's half of the field, down their left-hand side in front of the east stand. Le Green will leave the ball for Correa to go across and take. Argentina's number 9. Correa wiping the residue off the ball before delivering a long throw in towards the area. Takes a run up against the boards and then makes his way up towards the edge of the pitch, and a long throw from Correa in towards the area, too long though, and it runs behind the goalkeeper's ball. So Thompson to get things back underway. We're at the final minute of the normal 60, but of course there will be added on time for Connell's injury, and in fact that throw is given as a foul throw, that long throw, 1 foot off the ground, so now Great Britain will be able to build themselves from a throw on their right. An underarm throw in field to Barker, who's dropped deep inside his own half to retrieve and then bring it up towards the centre circle. Barker in possession, caught by a challenge by Fernandez Romano. Fair tackle, nice turn by Diallo though. The ball breaks through, left corner of the box. He's got support centrally, just outside the D. Barker's drive, great block by Morana. Back it comes to Dimbolo from distance. He cuts the ball back in, diving header away by Morana. Barker, short to Diallo, edge of the D, back to the right hand side. Morana is there again on the stretch. Dimbolo crosses towards this near side, half turned away. Barker trying to control on the edge of the D, and Argentina bring it clear and might be able to break, but Diallo does well to get a foot in. Breaks kindly for Argentina, and then Glynn clears away. 4 minutes of added on time. The ball breaks back towards the centre circle, and Great Britain have possession. Is there a final goal in this yet? Nice turn by Patterson into Argentina's half of the field. Patterson goes for goal from distance, just bends it wide of the post. Goal kick. So we're midway through the first minute of the 4 minutes allocated added on here. Great Britain 2, Argentina 2, and the ball down at the right edge of the inner box for Gutierrez to take. So Gutierrez will clear away, right-footed downfield for Argentina. High ball towards Argentina's right-hand side, and the ball just bounces a couple of times before running out of play for a Great Britain throw. Level with the edge of their own area, worked in short by Glynn, to the feet of the captain Dimbolo, and back to Glynn again down this left-hand side for Great Britain. Short ball just crosses over halfway down the left to Patterson. Patterson midway through Argentina's half of the field, rides one challenge, goes past a second, but he's got a free kick anyway. Free kick for Great Britain, midway through Argentina's half, about 5 yards in from this left-hand side. Is there still a dramatic twist left in this game before 20 minutes of extra time beckon? So corner for, free kick for Great Britain from this left-hand side, midway through Argentina's half the field, about 5 yards in from this left. Diallo will take, sending players up towards the far right corner of the penalty area from Diallo's point of view to deliver this one into the middle. Diallo, left-footed ball, clipped off the defender, up towards the edge of the area, headed away by Correa, header back into the area again, the Green's header up into the air, drops outside the box. Barker heads towards the edge of the D, and it's a foul by Fletcher. Free kick for Argentina. Bit of a soft one really, both players going for the aerial battle, and in the end Fletcher seemed to win it, but the referee opting that was a foul, and now Argentina, they've got a man down at the moment, just having a bit of a breather, I suspect there, Correa, before getting back on his feet. So Correa was okay to continue as a result of that aerial clash, and now Argentina will look to clear away from just outside their D in a central position. 2-2 here at the Riverbank Arena. 63 minutes gone. Clearance away, long downfield, up towards the edge of the area. Good towering header away by Great Britain. Barker will try and latch onto that himself. Barker, if he can keep it in play, Great Britain may be on the attack here. He has kept it in, crosses into the middle, beyond Fletcher though, too deep. Patterson will do well to keep this in, left-hand side. Lobs it back towards the left corner of the box. Dimbolo, left corner of the area, blocked away though. Correa back there defending. Vivot got in the way as well, and Vivot clears down the line for Argentina towards Luquiz on halfway right-hand side for Argentina. Steps away from Diallo. Good foot in though by Diallo, but Argentina have it just inside their own half, and they work it back centrally now with Morana. Crossfield ball towards the Green, just shy of halfway. The Green in possession, into the centre circle, steps away from the challenge, still progressing forward, claims he was pulled back there by Barker, and a free kick given for Argentina. 5 yards away from a central position from the edge of the D, and a promising position here. Yellow card shown for a cynical foul there, and a free kick for Argentina in a central position. Opportunity, perhaps, for a strike on goal late into this added on time. The 4 minutes added on time. Is there a final twist in this game which could fall Argentina's way? Great Britain with a two-man wall right on the edge of the D, and Argentina with a free kick in a central position. The ball just being taken back a yard or two inside the D instead. Central position. Vivot standing over this for Argentina. He's got Morana just to his right by a yard or so, but Vivot will lay it off to Morana now. Morana's right-footed drive high and wide over the top for a goal kick. Referee glances at his watch as Thompson wants to get play underway as quickly as possible for Great Britain. then makes his way across to a central position of the inner box and works it away right-hand side. Referee blows his whistle. We're heading for extra time here. Great Britain 2, Argentina 2. Extra time will be on its way shortly. I'll be back in just a couple of moments' time.
And as we need a result in this classification match, this game will go to extra time. We will play two 10-minute periods of extra time. If the scores are still level after 10 minutes each way, we will go to a penalty shootout. So extra time will begin very shortly. Just a reminder, there is no smoking at the Riverbank Arena. You will find a smoking area outside next to the goal sausage stand. Please don't smoke any other area. If you're leaving, make sure you're safe. Do not use the handrails down the stairs. Also use both sides of the staircase. 20 instructions from our stewards as they are there to keep you safe. But extra time to decide who goes through to the fifth place playoff at the Riverbank Arena is moments away. So let me remind you, we are now going to a period of extra time. We will play 10 minutes each way to determine who goes through to the fifth place playoff.
Welcome back here to the Riverbank Arena. Extra time then, 10 minutes each way. Great Britain are making a change here for the extra time period.
Substitution for Great Britain, leaving the field, number 4, Matt Dimbulo. On in his place, number 6, Alistair Patrick Heselton.
So the match officials just with the two captains now just doing a coin toss to decide which way they're going to be going.
In the 5th place playoff.
So substitution for Great Britain then, Patrick Heselton on.
For the losers, it's the 7th place playoff against the United States of America, again on Sunday morning at the Riverbank Arena.
So Barker now takes the captain's armband after Dimbulo has come off for Patrick Heselton. So 10 minutes each way of this extra time period. If it still remains level, then we will be heading to a penalty shootout. A cap just being brought on for Great Britain's goalkeeper there away to my left-hand side. The sun is very, very bright towards this left. And that's why the goalkeeper Thompson has called for a cap to be brought on for him. We do eventually have a ball, which the match official has, and then we will get things back underway now. So Great Britain shooting away to the right-hand side in this first period of extra time. The referee, with the ball in his hand, spots it down in the centre circle, and he's actually just saying that Argentina won the coin toss and they will kick off instead. So Argentina will get things underway now. Correa from the centre circle with Fernandez Romano. The referee blows his whistle and Argentina get us underway. So work back towards the edge of their area, and they will build the ball away up towards the left-hand side of midfield. Quickly won back by Diallo for Great Britain. Diallo in possession, makes his way through Argentina's half the field, midway through, up towards the edge of the box, trying to slip it through towards goal. Vivot will bring it clear for Argentina, up and over halfway to a central position. Correa now brings it up to the left corner of the penalty area for Argentina. Low ball across the face of goal, behind for a goal kick. So Marana powering forward with Vivot, and then in the end Correa was slipped away towards the edge of the area, but his low drive wide of the post. So Great Britain midway through their own half with Patterson, left-hand side, crossing over halfway now in this first period of extra time. Works it down the left-hand side level with the penalty area, left-hand side for Great Britain. Barker now with the captain's armband, holds the ball up and feeds it further down by the corner flag. Patterson tries to keep it in play and did, but Argentina will clear from their right-back position up towards halfway. Loose ball though, Patrick Heselton has it now and plays it back centrally. So Great Britain in possession with Diallo, ushering players forward, works it towards that left-hand side. Barker tees it off first time, back to halfway to Glynn. Glynn for Great Britain, just inside Argentina's half the field, up towards the left corner of the penalty area, flipped in towards the left-hand side of the box, cleared away though, and Argentina right-hand side now with Vivot. He heads the ball inside of Patrick Heselton, the substitute. We've seemed to do enough there just to ease him off it, but a free kick given Argentina's way. Looked like a good show of strength, actually, from Patrick Heselton, as he got goal side of his man, but that is a free kick given for Argentina towards their right-hand side, right of the centre circle, and Vivot will take from deep inside his own half. So 2-2 here, Great Britain 2, Argentina 2 at the Riverbank Arena, and play will continue with this free kick, which Marana has been left to take. So Marana with a long ball up towards the left-hand side of the penalty area, behind for a goal kick, too much on it, and that is back with Great Britain's goalkeeper, Billy Thompson. Thompson from the right-hand side of his inner box, works it short to the left-hand side to Glynn. Glynn brings it away midway through his own half, and a low pass over halfway towards the left-hand side, reaches Barker, left corner of the penalty area, trying to thread it back towards the edge of the box, and Patrick Heselton with a strike towards goal, which deflects behind for a corner. Just as Patrick Heselton was about to receive it on the edge of the D, a foot came in and locked the ball away, so that's a corner for Great Britain down their left-hand side. Patrick Heselton will go forward down that left to take. 63 minutes gone. 3 minutes of the first period of extra time played. And Patrick Heselton to deliver from the far left here for Great Britain. Delivers into the middle, deep towards the far post. Barker the target, just drifts over his head though, and behind for a goal kick for Argentina. Left-hand side for them once the ball is retrieved. And Gutierrez again will spot the ball down and leave it for Marana to take from the left-hand side of the inner box, and he will clear away downfield for Argentina. So right-footed ball, high away by Marana, just over halfway. Good header by Diallo, back forward for Great Britain. Bouncing ball, runs through centrally to Barker, trying to lay it off short to Patrick Heselton. Midway through Argentina's half, right-hand side for Great Britain. Up towards the corner of the box, flips it inside to the edge of the inner box. Great Britain trying to shield the ball towards Patrick Heselton. Goes down in the area, nothing given though by the referee, and Gutierrez scoops the ball up in the Argentina goal. So Gutierrez gathers, and the ball bouncing once and twice before he clears away downfield with a right-footed clearance, high and long, and Diallo underneath that controls instantly for Great Britain. Works it across to their left-hand side to the feet of Patterson, who lobs it forward, and the chested down by Barker towards Patrick Heselton is just overrun, and Vivot quickly wins it back for Argentina. Vivot now works it centrally towards the centre circle. Marana, nice bit of skill to try and turn it away towards this left. But Great Britain with a fair challenge, and now Patrick Heselton has possession. But Great Britain may well kick the ball out of play as Argentina have a man down. They won't, because he's back up, and now the ball is slipped through the Argentina half up towards this right-hand side. Fletcher trying to return the ball back to the edge of the area. Not the best of balls, and Argentina will clear. Centre circle with Correa. Brings the ball forward. Midway through Great Britain's half of the field. Left of centre now. Correa, the ball at his feet. Down to walking pace as he tries to turn the ball away towards the left-hand side. Correa twisting one way, turning back the other. Tries to feed it back to halfway to Le Green. feeds it infield a couple of yards to Vivot, back to Correa, clips it towards the left corner of the penalty area, back to a more central position now. Luquez in possession, turns and shoots on the turn over the top, goal kick. Well, half a strike towards goal there from Luquez, bit of space opened up, and he attempted the effort towards goal. We've had 5 minutes of the first period of extra time. Great Britain bring the ball away midway through their own half, left of centre. The ball at the feet of Glynn, slips it to Barker just inside Argentina's half. Back to the left-hand side now to Glynn on halfway. Glynn for Great Britain, looking for options, threads it towards the left corner of the box to Barker. Barker tries to spin, good tackle comes in, and Argentina will clear. Vivot in the centre circle now, shoots from distance towards goal, and Thompson gathers, catches easily at the right-hand side of his inner box. Thompson with a short roll out to Glynn, on the edge of the D in a central position, and then over to the left-hand side of halfway, just crossing over halfway by a couple of yards. Patterson slips it down that left channel to Barker, just outside the penalty area, left-hand side for Great Britain. Barker checks back and feeds it all the way back to halfway, inside their own half to Glynn. Glynn just outside the centre circle, makes progress forward, and then continues to go on as no challenge is forthcoming. Still going Glynn, up towards the edge of the D central position, just barged into and swept away by Argentina. Great Britain have it back with Diallo, advantage played by the referee. Works it to his left-hand side, Diallo to Glynn. Just outside the box, Glynn tries to bend one, deflects away, and will run all the way back towards halfway, left-hand side for Great Britain, and out for a throw. So Great Britain throw, 5 yards inside their own half, and that's worked short infield to the substitute Patrick Heselton. So Patrick Heselton will progress over halfway, a low ball up towards the edge of the D, picked off by Barker. Barker now trying to spin towards the area, crowded out though, and Argentina will bring it clear with Fernandez Romano. Crossing over halfway, left-hand side, still going forward, ball at his feet, into the area, and good save by the goalkeeper, slipped into Correa, snapshot on the turn at the left-hand side of the inner box, and Thompson neatly down to his right-hand side to turn the ball away for a corner. Brilliant save by Thompson, one-handed, flicked the ball away, and a corner it is for Argentina. Don't seem in any hurry at all to take this. Argentina now finally, Le Green reacts and he will come across to take. Left-hand side for Argentina, but Correa with the first real effort of this extra time period, and a good stop by the substitute goalkeeper Thompson. So corner, near left for Argentina, for Le Green to take, left-footed delivery. High and behind, goal kick. For Thompson to take on the left-hand side of his inner box. Diallo peels away, but Thompson goes centrally up towards Patterson. Nice turn by Patterson to roll Vivot on halfway. Centre circle now, Patterson progressing inside Argentina's half. His ball towards Le Green didn't quite reach him, but a free kick given Great Britain's way in the centre circle for a push on Patterson there in the centre circle, just inside Argentina's half of the field. So 68 minutes gone here, 2 minutes to go in this first period of extra time. Diallo from the centre circle will work it short to his right-hand side, to the feet of Glynn. He threads one up towards the corner of the box, too much on it, and that's behind for a goal kick. So Argentina to restart play once more from their left-hand side, on the edge of their inner box. And the ball left for Morana to take. Morana to clear away downfield with a high right-footed ball over halfway central position. Good header back forward by Diallo, bouncing inside the centre circle, and quickly won back now by Argentina. Luquez tries to volley one towards goal, breaks kindly here for Argentina, into the bottom corner. Argentina score, Vivot is there, into the bottom corner. The ball worked with an attempted strike towards goal. It broke kindly for Vivot in the area. His left-footed strike low to the goalkeeper's right, into the bottom corner. It's Great Britain 2, Argentina 3, and Vivot with his second goal.
Argentina's number 5, Brian Vivot.
So Vivot scores, and Argentina in the final stages of this first period of extra time have gone in front for the first time today. They're trailing 2-0 in this match. They've turned it round. They lead 3-2 in extra time. And Diallo just pushing one of the Argentina players to get a move on and get back in his own half. Loitering there, Fernandez Romano taking his time in strolling back inside his own half, and Diallo just pushing him on his way. So Great Britain to get us back underway from kickoff. Patrick Heselton down the left-hand side, trying to progress inside Argentina's half, has to come back to halfway again. Patterson now into the centre circle to Diallo. Diallo with a low ball towards the corner of the box to Barker. Barker back inside the area towards Patrick Heselton, didn't quite reach him. Corner for Great Britain. Corner down their right-hand side into the final minute here, deep into that final minute of the first period of extra time. Great Britain 2, Argentina 3. Corner for Great Britain from their right-hand side. Patrick Heselton takes into the area. Goalkeeper flaps it and misses it. Ball breaks out midway through Argentina's half towards the edge of the box. Diallo, nice bit of skill, tries to head it inside the box and goes down. Nothing given as Marana blocked him off, and Marana hooks the ball away. Patterson heads back forward for Great Britain. Diallo has won a free kick there for Great Britain. 10 yards away from the corner of the penalty area, left-hand side for Great Britain, and a chance maybe deep into the first period of extra time to maybe get a reply here. Diallo will make his way into the area instead and leave it for Patrick Heselton. This is going to be the last action of this first period of extra time. Patrick Heselton will look to whip this on target, I'm sure. Patterson is hanging around just outside the edge of the D. A two-man Argentina will stand in front of Patrick Heselton. Right-footed towards goal, blocked away from the edge of the inner box and cleared to the edge of the D instead. Almost broke kindly here for Great Britain. The whistle's gone though for half-time. So half-time of extra time. Great Britain 2, Argentina 3. I'll be back in just a couple moments' time as it's quite a quick turnaround.
In this seven-a-side football second classification match. It's Great Britain 2, Argentina 3.
Referee sounds his whistle for the two sets of players to come back on. So second period of extra time, 10 minutes to go in this game. Great Britain 2, Argentina 3 of this Paralympic seven-a-side football tournament classification game. At the moment, Argentina are taking on Netherlands, and Great Britain are battling it out for 7th or 8th against the United States of America, who incidentally, Great Britain picked up their only victory of the tournament so far against, and that was against USA, of course, the United States of America, in a 4-0 win in their last outing. So Great Britain, a big 10 minutes to come. Shooting away to my left-hand side in this second period of extra time. Barker and Diallo from the centre circle to get things back underway. The referee glances at his watch, blows his whistle, and Diallo from the centre circle works it short to Barker, just inside Argentina's half of the field. Over to this near left-hand side to Patterson. Trying to clip one down the line, blatant handball there by Luquiz, and that'll be a free kick for Great Britain. Completely intentional, and that has to be a yellow card, and is for Luquiz. So Rodriguez Luquiz booked for Argentina. Free kick for Great Britain. It's about 10 yards away from the corner of the penalty area, but it's going to be taken a little bit nearer than that. The referee, in fact, is just indicating it needs to come back a few yards. So 10 yards away, diagonal to the corner of the box, and Patrick Heselton is interested in taking this. And free kick for Great Britain, right at the start of this second period of extra time. A chance to deliver into the penalty area now. Low ball into the area, and just breaks and hits Diallo inside the inner box and cleared away by Argentina. So Great Britain will retreat back to their own area, and Thompson gathers. He rolls it short to Glynn. So Glynn in possession, in defence for Great Britain, brings it up towards the centre circle, and Argentina are noticeably very deep in this second period now. Diallo, edge of the D, trying to work it back to Barker, who goes for goal. Goalkeeper manages to push the ball away, and then Correa turns the ball out of play. Far side, Great Britain's right, just a yard inside Argentina's half. Argentina very deep defensively. Great Britain in a real hurry to get on with play, and too much of a hurry on that occasion from that throw. and Argentina now get themselves a throw down their left-hand side. I expect a lot of time wasting in this second period of extra time from Argentina, and they've started already with Le Green just tying his shoelace and then making out as he's not realised it's actually their throw, and then finally going across to take the ball. So Le Green throw for Argentina, just short of halfway, rolls the ball in field, and a good tackle from Barker. Great Britain clearance, only breaks as far as Vivot, who clips the ball towards the left corner of the penalty area. Fernandez Romano inside the box, edge of the area. Vivot into the top corner, 4-2 Argentina. The ball forward inside the area. Vivot up towards the edge of the inner box to Fernandez Romano. It broke back kindly to Vivot again, inside the area. Left-footed strike high into the top corner. And Argentina's goalkeeper Gutierrez going absolutely crazy down this near side in sheer jubilation. Great Britain 2, Argentina 4, and now the uphill task has turned into an epic mountain to climb now. So from the centre circle, Great Britain to regroup and get us back underway. Diallo to this near left-hand side to Patterson. Great Britain's left. Works it further over down the left now to Barker, 5 yards away from the corner flag. He goes back centrally to Patterson once more. Patterson for Great Britain, challenge comes in and out of play. Vivot, the goal scorer of that second goal, knocks the ball out, and Great Britain throw in towards the edge of the box. Diallo rolls the defender and smashes one across goal, but well wide, and out for a throw in fact in the left back position for Argentina. And again, they will be in no hurry to take. Actually being indicated possibly there is a Great Britain throw. There's a little break in play at the moment as Le Green has gone down inside the edge of the D to waste a bit more time, while the referee ties one of their shoelaces as well. Fernandez Romano and Le Green. The referee's just been told to get Le Green up on his feet, and Le Green limps across to the far side to take this throw. Well, it's going to be a real 10 minutes now of time wasting from Argentina, no question about that. And there's about 6 minutes to go in this second period of extra time, and Great Britain need to find at least 2 goals. Thrown away down the line, foul throw indicated on that far side. Referee's not spotted that, now he has, and that is a throw for Great Britain then. Foul throw from Argentina, foot raised off the ground, and that will be a throw for Great Britain. And Diallo is ushering everyone forward for Great Britain. They've got nothing to lose. Patrick Heselton, right-hand side to deliver the throw, level with Argentina's right-hand side of the penalty area from Great Britain's point of view. Patrick Heselton rolls it in short to Diallo. Diallo, corner of the box, tries to go inside the area and a clearance away, and he's actually got a free kick there as Patrick Heselton. Free kick for Great Britain, a couple of yards diagonal to the corner of the penalty area, right-hand side from Great Britain's point of view. A chance perhaps here from this set piece. They could do with this going in the back of the net, and then there could be still time to turn this game around. So Diallo to take for Great Britain. 2-man Argentina wall just being arranged on the corner of that penalty area. The referee just telling them to get their yards inside the box instead, and now Diallo will take for Great Britain. Free kick, a couple of yards away from the corner of the box. Right-hand side for Great Britain. Diallo, left-footed, whips it low towards goal. It comes back outside to Patterson. Patterson back to Diallo, right-hand side of the corner of the box. Diallo with a left-footed ball, too deep though. Patrick Heselton keeps it going, tries to fizz one towards goal, and it blocks away from Correa, and out for a Great Britain throw. Left-hand side, about 5 yards away from the corner flag. So Patrick Heselton with a long throw into the middle. Argentina header away by Luquiz, back out for a Great Britain throw down their left. We've got about 4 minutes to go in this second period of extra time. Worked in short to Diallo. Diallo has Patrick Heselton on his outside, but he crosses far edge of the box, too much on it for Barker to control, and it runs away for an Argentina throw. Deep in their left back position, and Le Green goes across to take again. Well, Le Green is really making a meal of it, going across to that far side. Very, very slowly for Morana to then take the throw down the line for Argentina. Quickly won back by Great Britain down their right. Now central, Diallo just outside the D, trying to slip it in towards Patrick Heselton. Good defending by Argentina, and a clearance away downfield, which Great Britain have to try and sprint after there with Fletcher, who does well to get there. George Fletcher brings it away from the left-hand side of the penalty area, midway through his own half, and then look to try and send the ball forward short down this left to Patterson. Patterson faced by Louise, rolls one to the left corner of the box to Barker. Barker tries to tee it off, heavy ball though to Diallo, and it runs all the way to the right-hand side of midfield to Patrick Heselton. Still inside Argentina's half the field, but Argentina are able to clear the ball away towards their right, Great Britain's left. Fletcher back down this left-hand side to Barker. And then a tackle from Louise and out for a corner for Great Britain. 77 minutes gone. Deep now into the final stages of this extra time. And Great Britain with a corner. Diallo works it short to Fletcher. Back to Diallo down by the corner flag. Steps away from the challenge and then crosses across the face of goal. Goalkeeper pushes the ball away, and that is a corner for Great Britain, far right-hand side. So corner for Great Britain. In a hurry to take. Patterson leaves it for Diallo to go across and take now. Diallo makes his way across to that far right-hand side. Patterson's there as an option for a short corner. Work back to Diallo again. He sets off on a run towards the area, goes inside the box, low towards the far edge. Patrick Heselton scores! Into the roof of the net. It broke to the left edge of the inner box. Right-footed on the half volley, smashed into the far top corner. It's 4-3. Great Britain have got one back. 78 minutes gone. Great Britain 3, Argentina 4. Brilliant play by Diallo, great control by Patrick Heselton, left-hand side of the inner box. The ball popped up kindly for him on the half volley, and then he smashed the ball into the far top corner. Argentina continue with their time wasting now in these late stages before getting things back underway. And Correa spins away and heads up towards the corner of the penalty area right-hand side, and then drives one as hard as he can and as high as he can into the stands. Great Britain goal kick. Great Britain work it short to their left-hand side, just outside the penalty area, and will bring it away down the left-hand side with Patterson. Patterson now for Great Britain, slips it centrally towards Barker. Good tackle from Marana, back towards halfway, left-hand side for Great Britain and Diallo. Diallo just inside Argentina's half the field, in from this left-hand side, a couple of yards to Barker. Barker tries to ride the challenge. Fair tackle comes in from Fernandez Romano, who will make this last as he stays down on the floor, but he'll quickly get up when he realises Great Britain are in possession. With Glynn on the centre circle for Great Britain. Slip ball to this near left-hand side to Barker. Now Fletcher, quick 1-2, back to the left corner of the box. Barker goes down inside the area, referee says no. It was a foul initially just outside the area, but then Barker went looking for the penalty instead, and Louise, right-hand side, will clear the ball away for Argentina. Great Britain in quickly to win it back. Barker just outside the box, volleys towards goal over the top of the top corner. Goal kick for Argentina. Great Britain 3, Argentina 4. 2 minutes of added on time there will be in this second period of extra time. Gutierrez taking his time in clearing away for Argentina downfield towards their right-hand side. The ball drops out of play. Great Britain throw. They want to get back in possession as quickly as possible here, Great Britain. We've still got about 30 seconds of the normal extra time period before the 2 minutes added on time to go. Short ball by Glynn to Diallo. He spins away towards halfway and goes down. Free kick for Great Britain. 5 yards inside Argentina's half the field, left of centre. Diallo wants to get the ball back off Argentina as quickly as possible. Barges into Vivot as he tries to retrieve the ball.
2 minutes.
Free kick for Great Britain. Final push in this game, perhaps, to get an equalising goal which could potentially send this match to penalties. Works short to Diallo, turns beyond the defender, left-hand side. Diagonal to the corner of the box. Diallo goes further out on the left, checks back onto his right, in towards the edge of the area. Patterson's drive is blocked. Comes out right-hand side for Argentina and scoops away towards the centre circle. Glynn there knocks the ball away right-hand side. Le Green plays for Argentina, and Vivot will chase now for Argentina on the break. Great Britain trying to get the ball away right-hand side of their penalty area and lobbed up towards the centre circle. Fletcher couldn't quite help it on, and Le Green works it back to Vivot now. Vivot in possession for Argentina, rolls it across the centre circle to Fernandez Romano. He threads the ball forward, right-hand side for Argentina, midway through Great Britain's half of the pitch, and Argentina will be happy to keep it in this final third. Correa turns inside to the corner of the box, works it back centrally to Vivot, who drives towards goal, deflection away, and Louise tries to spin. Diallo turns away from him, on halfway, trying to make headway towards the edge of the box, didn't quite make it to Patrick Heselton. Free kick has been awarded against Great Britain, just outside the penalty area there, and Diallo looks absolutely bemused by the decision. and squares up to the Argentina man Luquez before this free kick will be taken. It's just slipped away from Great Britain this match. The final push in this game has got them a goal back, but now we're deep into the added-on time, and Argentina, the South Americans, are renowned as masters of winding down the clock, and they try and clear the ball away. Great Britain will try and get possession back as Argentina knock the ball out of play, and another player will have a little writhe around on the floor now. Vivot is down, and now Great Britain get play back underway. Left-hand side and looking to bring it up towards halfway. One final push perhaps now. Diallo turns infield, works it centrally now to Patterson, just outside the edge of the D, in towards the area, heavy ball to Patrick Heselton, goal kick. Just beyond Patrick Heselton, and that will be that. Once this kick is taken, that should be full time. Patrick Heselton just unable to connect with that, and now this will be taken away downfield. So Argentina look like they're going to be facing Netherlands in the battle for 5th place, while Great Britain will be taking on a rematch with United States of America. So Gutierrez wasting even more time from the right-hand side of his inner box, clears away downfield, and that is the full-time whistle. Great Britain 3, Argentina 4, and Great Britain, despite going 2-0 up in the game, peg back to 2-2, 4-2 down in extra time, and then a late goal back, just not quite enough. A superb effort, but defeat all the same. Great Britain 3,
so Argentina will face the
Argentina
Netherlands
4.
in the 5th
More action to come this afternoon from the semi-final clashes of Russian Federation and Brazil and Ukraine and the Islamic Republic of Iran. Safe journey home, and I hope you've enjoyed the commentary despite the result if you're a Great Britain supporter.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you please show your appreciation to our athletes from Argentina. And ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Great Britain. So congratulations indeed to Argentina, who will play in the 5th place playoff against the Netherlands on Sunday morning. Great Britain will face the United States of America for the 7th place playoff. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes this session at Riverbank Arena. On behalf of the International Paralympic Committee and the London Organising Committee for the Olympic and Paralympic Games, we hope you enjoyed your day. Thank you for being a part of London 2012, and have a safe journey. Please make sure you're safe as you leave the stadium, and hold on.
Paralympic medalists.
For those of you just joining us, welcome to the Olympic Stadium here in London, the Paralympics 2012, and you join us just as the women's discus throwers in the F51, 52 and 53 categories are receiving their medals. And I've just been standing up because Josie Pearson of Great Britain won the gold medal, and every time they play God Save the Queen, something inside me makes me just stand up in the commentary booth, much to the amusement of my co-commentators, whether they're from America or Australia. It's America tonight, Chris Waddell, Katrina last night from Australia. Do you think it's a bit of a quaint habit that a commentator would stand up for the anthem?
Not at all.
No?
You should be experiencing it just as much.
In second position behind Javed Hardani and just ahead of the Egyptian Mohammed Ramadan. And that's 51.34, 992 points. The reason there's a point system is because there's two different categories.
Actually, 3 different categories, isn't it?
F37 and F38.
Oh, it's just 37 and 38. Sorry about that.
That's right. And so they're both cerebral palsy categories, but one would be a more severe form. And so in lots of events, they would have individual competitions, but there'd just be too many classifications and categories for the Paralympic Games. So they put them in together, have a point system, and work out the winner that way. And at the moment it's the Iranian Javed Hardani who's in the lead, and we're seeing him now. Oh, biggest cheer of the night. Not really a cheer, but it's more of a roar, isn't it? A roar.
It is. I think you've got to get everything going in one direction to be able to throw that thing as far as you can.
Javed Hardani of Iran, 28 years of age. And that is 51.51. It's a world record.
And that roar was well placed.
Yeah. I'll forgive him his roar. So we've got another victory ceremony. This will be for the men's javelin.
The victory ceremony for the men's javelin F42.
To hear the Chinese anthem again, which is very much the anthem of the Games.
Will be presented by Mr. Clive Efford MP, Shadow Minister for Sport, who is accompanied by Mr. Neil Crockett, Cisco Managing Director, London 2012.
Is the term Shadow Minister something that would be understood throughout the world?
No.
The bronze medalist.
I'll explain.
Representing Norway, Rune Steinstad.
Norwegian coming up for the bronze. So you'd have the Minister for Sport, which would be the minister in the government with responsibility for sport, and then the opposition party, the largest other party, at the moment the Labour Party, and so the minister who would be the Minister for Sport if his party were in government is called the Shadow Minister. So every minister has a shadow in the opposing party.
Really?
Yeah. He's not really a shadow, you can see him in the sunshine, it's just he's the Shadow Minister.
Good point, good point. It's almost like an understudy.
Yeah. And often if they're voting.
Ladies and gentlemen, the silver medalist, representing the Islamic Republic of Iran, Kamran Shukrisalari.
Oh, we did a false start and came up too early. And often politicians in the two parties will pair up so that if they want to get on with some work rather than have to go and do all the voting, they'll just say, right, if you don't go, I won't go. And that's your pair in the other party, and then they don't have to go and they can carry on doing some work. Of course, you've got to trust your pair. If he says he's not going to vote, you go off and do some work, and then he sneaks in and votes, you're in trouble. So a little bit of politics with your athletics tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, the gold medalist, Paralympic champion, representing the People's Republic of China, Fu Yanglong.
Chinese are at the top of the medals table with 198 total medals, 78 of which are gold. Great Britain follows closely, well, not closely behind. with 112 medals, 32 gold. So less than half of the gold medals of China.
And at the moment,
are dominating.
At the moment, the Brits just ahead of the Russians, but it's neck and neck as to who's going to be second to China, isn't it?
It really is, and the Brits have far exceeded their goal of 103 medals.
Those who are able,
Absolutely.
please stand for the national anthem of the People's Republic of China. Ladies and gentlemen, your Paralympic medalists.
Fu Yanlong of China inviting the Iranian and the Norwegian up to have their picture taken. And we've been answering your questions on Twitter, but tonight you've answered one of ours. What does Sayabonga mean, which was on Jonathan Ntutu's wristband? And James and Wesley and Samantha have all says it means we are thankful in Zulu. So he also indicated there's the universal sign of having a baby, so we are thankful for the baby, and he was also thankful because he did very well in his race. Natasha says, Jeremy, I love your accent. I'd love to hear you pronounce my surname. Tibet? Natasha Tibet? That's how I'd say it? I don't know. Sorry, Natasha, I only practice the names of the athletes rather than the members of the general public. I'd be here all night if I tried to learn how to say everyone's name. I just go for the athletes. So the discus continues. In the leads, Javed Hardani of Iran, Jia Dong of China in second place. And there's the man in third place, Mohammed Ramadan. It's a very Egyptian name. 27 years of age. Here's the man in second place, Jia Dong. Isabel Berta says, what are we going to do next week when there's no Paralympics on? What are you going to do next week, Chris? I've got one. I'm speaking at an event at a golf day, and I've got 3 days' work doing sport for the BBC. But it's just not going to be the same as being here in the Paralympics because there's such a lovely feeling. What do you do? Are you off back to the States?
I'm back to the States. Yes, I'll be back in the States. Hopefully catching up on some of the stuff that I haven't done while I've been here, which has been wonderful that I've been here. But I'm running an organization called One Revolution back in the States, and it's a little bit of work I need to do. I think there might be some people who are a little bit annoyed with me that they haven't received emails back.
There's quite a lot of sort of paperwork that I need to catch up on. And today I rang in to find out what I needed this afternoon because there was a chance I might have to commentate on some football, and I did have to commentate on the cerebral palsy football, which meant that I suddenly realised I had about half an hour to complete my VAT return, value-added tax. I don't know if you have that in America. It's like a sort of tax we pay if you run a business. And I was literally running around the house trying to find my checkbook and everything to do this so that I could get out, because it takes quite a long time on the train to get to the stadium, and then there's all sorts of accreditation checks to get in.
Oh, yes.
And I thought, it's full on, this Paralympics. It just takes over your life.
It is, and I've found in trying to get to the stadium that if I leave early, I arrive early. If I leave on time, I'm going to arrive late. So you really want to be early.
Absolutely. And I've experimented with about 3 different ways of getting home, involving tubes, trains, buses, and the Docklands Light Railway. And my record time is about an hour and a half at the moment.
Is it really? That's a considerable amount of time.
Especially as I live in southwest London. It's not like I live in another city.
Right.
But the Olympic Games are right over in East London, where I used to live, where I'm from. But we moved over to Twickenham, and it's just a job getting around London, isn't it?
It's certainly, yeah.
Particularly at the moment with the games on. But phenomenal amounts of people using the Tube network, the London Underground network at the moment. But it's something like 40% over capacity at the moment. But it just all seems to work. Sometimes you'd think they just squeeze the people in with a broom to herd them all to get them in. But somehow it works, and I've not seen anyone argue yet. It's all very good-natured.
Oh, it's amazing to see.
Stephanie says, so tired, but I will not go to bed before I see Oscar run. And Suleiman says, so Shadow Minister equals arch rival minister. Yes, in a comic book type situation, I suppose it does. There's Jeffrey Ige, 14.56. He stays in second place. So we've got the guide runners here, and that looks like an awful lot of runners on the track, doesn't it? The men's 5,000 metres, T11. Yes. And this is probably one of the hardest commentary challenges I've ever had with this many runners.
It's a lot of runners and a lot of guides. These are the completely blind athletes running a 5,000 meters, so 12 and a half laps.
It's incredible, isn't it, really, to be completely blind and to run 12 and a half laps of a track.
It is. It is.
And overtaking manoeuvres, I would imagine, are very different, very difficult.
The biggest problem is going to be at the start, because that's when everybody's packed in there. And I would imagine things are going to get strung out pretty quickly as we move along within the first lap.
So let's just have a look at some of the times here. First of all, I have to tell you that Odair Santos of Brazil, who should be in lane 1, is not starting. He hasn't showed. So Jason Joseph Dunkley of Canada, 35 years of age, has the next best season's best time, 15:37.76. It's a shame for Odair Santos because he was 20 seconds inside that. Yeah. Wilson Beale of Kenya. Yebo, South Africa, that's the cry from Jan Nero, 39 years of age. Danish competitor, Mikael Andersen, with the natty flags on his glasses. And Nuno Alves of Portugal. And the Kenyan in the outside lane, Francis Thuo Karanya. So I guess it's Dunkley that we're looking for here from Canada to win this one. Maybe Wilson Beale of Kenya or Shinya Wada of Japan.
So you can see a bit of a staggered start here where the starters on the outside are required to go around that first lane outside of those cones. Around the first turn, sorry. And then everybody will settle in once they get on the far side of the track.
So it's the Kenyan who is going into the lead.
And as you predicted, there's a little bumping going on, and some of it right now is just between guides and runners as everybody's trying to find their place.
Reminds me a bit of a three-legged race that we used to have at school, where you tie the middle leg together, in that you have to be in sync with the guide, and you can see they're almost running in time with each other.
Definitely. That's exactly what they're doing. And see a couple of Kenyans going to the front at this point. So you were talking about the Canadian as the guy to watch, and we've got a couple of Canadians here.
So in the lead at the moment, we've got Wilson Beale of Kenya, and alongside him, Francis Karanya.
Pack is sticking together. We've seen some other races, some other longer running races where, and now actually, just as you say that, Dunkerley from Canada is going to the front.
And Cheruiyot of Kenya is up there as well now.
But nobody's quite strung this pack out. When you see runners running side by side, that means that the pace isn't all that punishing.
So Dunkley of Canada from Cheruiyot of Kenya. And then we've also got Wilson Bigil of Kenya. So what sort of tactics would we see in a race like this?
Well, one of the things is always a question of who wants to go to the front. Do you want to go to the front? And if you go to the front, are you going to make a statement at the front? Are you going to start stringing this pack out? And you start to see how Dunkerley is stringing the pack out, where it's still bunched back in the back, but it gets to be more of like an arrow kind of shape, where it's one person all the way along. And that's the biggest question here. And the thing is, if somebody's going to go out, how quickly are they going to go out? Do you want to stay with them? Because you want to stay within your pace as much as you possibly can. And if somebody creates a bit of a gap, can you close that gap slowly, or do you try to close that gap quickly? And if you try to close that gap quickly, you often run the risk of spending your energy before you get to the finish line.
So it's Dunkerley of Canada who is leading them out at the moment. And it's the Chilean competitor, Valenzuela.
You can see how Dunkerley has that leash where they're connected to each other. Guide and runner. Does a 74-second lap.
So Canada in the lead through Dunkerley, Valenzuela of Chile in second place. And they're getting away from the pack. The Kenyans can't keep up with them at the moment.
And a 74-second lap is a fast lap. That means that they're essentially running just about 5-minute miles, which for most people out there, a 5-minute mile sounds like a really, really fast time. You can see these athletes don't look like they're hurting all that much, but they're still running a 5-minute mile.
Jason Joseph Dunkerley, 35 years of age from Canada, in the lead. So that's 12.5 laps of the track. We'll let that carry on while we have a look at the leader in the shot put. He's already in the lead, and that is again over 16 metres, 16.24. He's already thrown tonight. Does the muscle man stance to the crowd. And what's the big Aussie thrown this time?
You can see him struggling to stay in that ring too as he lets that shot go.
9 laps to go in the 5,000 metres.
It looks like they went with another sub 75, but you can see how things are strung out there, especially with the first two athletes out in front. It's developing a gap.
Yeah, Dunkerley of Canada still in the lead, and it's the Chilean competitor, Valenzuela, who is tracking him. Dunkerley is 35 years of age. There's quite a lot of people in their 30s in the race, but there's some 42-year-olds as well. Valenzuela of Chile is just 29. And it looks like they're away. I can't see the pack finding any way back.
They're developing about a 20 to 30 meter lead on the rest of the pack.
And obviously this is why the guide is so crucial in a race like this, because the guide is the only one that can tell the distance.
Exactly. Tell them where. Though it is hard for anybody when you're on the track. You'll see some of the athletes who are looking at the big screen now. You don't get this at most of your events, but here at the Paralympics you get the big screen, and you'll see the athletes coming down and looking at the big screen to see just where everybody is. You see Dunkerley's guide looking at his watch as he's going through there again.
Funny that he has to look at his watch. You'd think that there'd be a big screen he could look at.
Well, there's a gigantic clock right there, and that he looked at his watch as he was passing that gigantic clock. But he's used to looking at his watch. He's been doing this all the time. He's been doing it in training, in all the races, and so that's his habit, is to look at his watch as he goes along, and he looked at his watch. So you want to stick with the comfort of what you've always done.
So let's go back to the discus. Jiadong of China. Ooh, that's massive. Wow. You can tell it's massive because the judges were standing further in, not expecting it to be that far. It's not often you see a judge running with his jacket flapping.
This is where they wish that they had that digital map of the field so that it would land and that they'd know and they didn't have to run all the way out there.
So the women's long jump also underway. We'll bring you some pictures of that when we get them. We're not showing us any at the moment. I apologise for that. But we've got these two throwing events they seem to be concentrating on. This is Jiedong, 55.81, and that equates to 1,017 points. So it's Canada and Chile dominating the 5,000 metres. Jason Joseph Dunkley, 35 years of age, ahead of Valenzuela, the 29-year-old from Chile.
And you can see that Dunkley's setting the pace, but Valenzuela is sitting pretty comfortably just behind him. There was a bit of a gap before. And you can see how what Dunkley's guide is actually doing, Jeremy, is he's taking splits. So he's not just looking at his watch, he's taking splits as they're going along. So
just explain what that means, taking splits?
Yes, exactly. So what he's doing is he's hitting his watch, and that will tell him what their lap time was.
Yeah.
And their lap time is going to tell him, so what they did in the last 400 meters, that's going to tell him how fast they're going, whether they're picking up the pace, which is kind of interesting. Just took a lap right there, and then now they picked up a little bit of a gap on Valenzuela, so that might have been something that gave him a little impetus to pick up the pace.
My watch has a lap time function on it, but I've never quite got to grips with it. I'm wearing my cheap watch today because my other watch keeps setting off the alarm when you come into the stadium, you know, the metal detector. So I put this one on thinking it was probably plastic, but that set the alarm off as well. But then I think it might be the buckle on my belt. You can never tell.
There is a fair amount of security, isn't there? Everywhere you go.
How do you go on then, being in a wheelchair, when you come through the security? Because obviously there's a lot of metal in your chair.
There's a lot of metal in my chair. I usually come through in the car in the T3, and so they check the car, they check me, they check my chair. When I go through the individual security points, I get patted down everywhere I go.
Do you?
Oh yes.
We're very friendly in this country.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's good. And they're generally pretty quick, which is not always the case with the airports.
No.
Not saying it about here, but anywhere.
Do you enjoy the pat downs?
I enjoy that we're going to be safe and secure, and I know that I'm not bringing anything in, but I don't know about anybody else. So this looks like a big throw too.
You're such a diplomat, Chris. Good answer. That was a big throw. So this is the Iranian, currently in second place.
One of these things you see with these field athletes is that they're so explosive.
Oh, he's gone into first place.
He has.
With that one, 52.46. He set a new world record.
And you can see that he's a little bit more slight than some of the other athletes, and you think that these big guys, but it's so much of how they can get that strength and that quickness to meet in the middle and get that discus flying as far as they can.
Wilson Beale of Kenya, 26-year-old, has pulled out of this race now. He's just come up as a DNF. And Oder Santos of Brazil is a DNS, which did not start. One's did not start, one's did not finish.
About 2/3 of the way through this race.
So it's going to be between these two. And we say between these two, even though there's four of them, because it's the athlete who is the person who will get the medal, or the guide gets a medal as well, which is good to see. So it's Jason Joseph Dunkley running with his guide, Josh Caranya, and Christian Valenzuela from Chile with his guide, Christopher Gallardo.
So a mile left to go. They're still running about the same time, though they're about 2 seconds slower than they were earlier on. They were running pretty consistently in the 74 seconds. It looks like Dunkley is making a bit of a move. You see his guide looking back there a few meters back just to see. Try to get an impression of how Valenzuela looks, whether it looks like he's hurting or not. As we said earlier, you have to pick your guide well, because this guide has to not only be your eyes, but at the same time, this guide has to be able to run the same pace. And this is kind of interesting now. We're seeing a bit of a move.
So on form, in terms of personal bests, Dunkley's personal best is 15:37 and Valenzuela's is 16:01. So Dunkley is nearly half a minute faster on paper, But of course, this is run on the track.
It most definitely is run on the track, and that's not a huge difference, but it's a pretty considerable difference, and sometimes it's representative of, and you can see that lap was just a little bit faster and went down from 76 down to 75. But part of it is it's representative of the field in the race that you're running, or the kind of race that you're running. Sometimes that's how you can get a fast lap, and you get a little bit of a yo-yo going on here. Got that rubber band in between Dunkerley and Valenzuela, and it stretches a little, and then Valenzuela closes it up, and then it stretches a little bit, and now he looks like he's pulling out into lane 2.
So this is a fascinating battle. The Chilean runner is running way ahead of what he should be doing. I wonder, though, is he not using up a lot more energy by having to go past in the outside lane?
You go a lot further. I've heard 7 more meters going out in lane 2 or something like that for each lap. So, but he's closed that gap. It's often hard to pass on the turn. You usually want to pass on the straightaway.
So he's done it. He's passed. Valenzuela of Chile is passed. And now it's Dunkerley who's playing catch-up. So this will be a real turn-up for the books.
Be interesting to see if Dunkerley can come back on this. He's been leading the whole time. Valenzuela picked it up about a second that lap. So it's not a considerable amount, but a second's enough to make a difference. So we'll see what happens if Dunkerley is going to come back. Might be that Dunkerley just wanted Valenzuela to lead a little bit, get a chance to see just how strong he is, or feel just how strong he is, have his guide have a good look at him, and make his move, figure out where he's going to make his move. It's usually easier to attack from the back, but it looks like Valenzuela is picking up, opening a bit more of a gap. Looks like he might get away and just stay away.
So Dunkerley of Canada, who's the second fastest in the race, must have thought that he was in with a great shout when the fastest runner didn't start and the third fastest pulled out during the race. But it's Valenzuela, who's nearly half a minute slower in terms of personal bests, who's now beginning to stretch the lead away. It's looking good for the Chilean runner.
That rubber band that we saw attached to Valenzuela when Dunkerley was in front kept stretching and then coming back and stretching and coming back. Valenzuela looks like he's stretching into the breaking point right here.
So coming up to the bell, the signal that tells us they're on the last lap, and it's Valenzuela, Christian Valenzuela of Chile, stretching out now.
You can see his guide waving to the crowd, trying to get the noise going. Valenzuela ran a 72-second previous lap. That's how we developed that gap. And it looks like Dunkerley does not have the ability to recover or to respond to that move from Valenzuela.
And usually with the events for blind runners, they don't like the crowd noise, but actively the Chilean guide was trying to get the crowd going.
He's trying to get him going. At this point, there's nothing that can happen other than just running fast. So I don't think that the noise is going to disturb them at all. And coming up in the Spanish lap traffic here.
So it's Chile who are going to get a gold here through Christian Valenzuela. I can't tell you who's in bronze medal position because it's so far back we can't see. But Valenzuela of Chile, the Spaniards rightfully stepping out of the way and shouting to them as they go past. It's going to be a gold medal for Chile and Christian Valenzuela. And the silver medal will go to Jason Dunkerley of Canada. And the Chilean athlete is absolutely shattered. And it's
he put everything he had into it.
It's Japan from Kenya. This will be Shinya Wada of Japan who's going to come in and get the bronze medal. Shinya Wada ahead of the Kenyan. So it's gold for Chile, silver for Canada, bronze for Japan.
Great race. You can see that Valenzuela put absolutely everything he had into that race. He's celebrating, but I think he's also trying to compose himself.
Now usually with middle distance races like this, they don't look quite as tired as that. It's usually the sprinters that are gasping for air. The middle distance runners are usually okay, but these look absolutely shattered.
Well, as you mentioned, he ran considerably faster than he has run ever before.
They always say the 400 metres is the one that really takes a long time to recover from, because that's just out and out sprinting for a long time. But 5,000 metres is often a bit of a jog, but I think that guy has just run way above his personal best.
And sometimes you do get those kinds of performances where people perform completely out of their head. So 15:26, and his qualifying personal best was 16:01, so over half a minute faster.
35 seconds. That's an incredible amount. I don't know what he's saying, but he's happy. Right, the controversy's been cleared up about Australia and South Africa colours. Neil Stridham says, Australia, aren't they supposed to be gold and green, and South Africa green and gold?
Oh, well, there you go.
That's cleared that up then.
I feel much better about that now.
So a real surprise in that race, especially as the fastest runner didn't start. The third fastest pulled out during the race, and the second fastest got beaten by a Chilean runner who took 35 seconds off his personal best. We're at Paralympic on Twitter if you want to send us a message, or you can go to facebook.com and like the Paralympic Games group. The other night we were trying to get the people liking the Paralympic Games group up to 100,000. It's now up to 120,000. So thanks everyone on Facebook.
Interesting day today in the rest of the Paralympics as well. So we had Esther Verger, who's a tennis player, Dutch tennis player, who won her fourth gold medal, but she also has won 470 straight races.
Incredible.
I guess matches, sorry, it wouldn't be races.
So here's Jason Smith of Ireland, about to get his medal. It is, it's Sebastian Coe.
By Sebastian Coe, KBE.
Well done, mate.
Chair Locar.
Great games you've put on.
President of the International Association of Athletics Federations, who is accompanied by Mr. Nick Sykes, President, Future Brand, EMEA.
EMEA just means, usually people would say EMEA, wouldn't it? It's Europe, Middle East and
representing
Africa.
the Russian Federation, Artem Loginov.
Artem Loginov. The announcer said it like it was the name of a firm, EMEA, but EMEA is just a region. Europe, Middle East and Africa. And Sebastian Coe, who's going to present the flowers here, universally acknowledged as having put on a fantastic Olympics and Paralympics. In fact, it's the other way around. He presented the medal. The businessman presented the flowers.
Ladies and gentlemen, the silver medalist, representing the Russian Federation, Alexei Lapsin.
That legendary Russian tracksuit getting another outing.
Ladies and gentlemen, the gold medalist and Paralympic champion, representing Ireland, Jason Smith.
Well done, Jason. Absolutely ran away with that race. And I'm sure it'll mean a lot to him to be getting that from Seb Coe.
Ladies and gentlemen, as is customary, will those who are able please stand for the national anthem of Ireland. Ladies and gentlemen, your Paralympic medalists.
So Jason Smith of Ireland invites the two Russians up for the picture. And he's a double gold medalist at the Paralympics. Hope those Russian tracksuits not interfering with your television. I think if I could take one thing away from the games, Chris, it would be a Russian tracksuit.
Really? Have you spoken to anybody about that, Jeremy?
No, I haven't. I wonder who I should talk to, but it caused quite a storm at my tennis club if I had one of those on, I tell you.
I think so.
Yeah.
Would that be allowed at your tennis club? Because mostly we hear about you're only allowed to wear whites over here.
Oh, it's honestly, we've moved with the times now. You can wear white or black now.
Oh, okay, good.
Ilse Hayes in the long jump from South Africa. Looks like just over 5.5 meters. She landed quite heavily, and she's moving a little bit gingerly.
And she already has that thigh wrapped.
Hannes van Tonder on Facebook says, it's our last night watching. We're off to Pretoria tomorrow. Thanks to Jeremy and the co-presenters for their wonderful commentary and expertise. And Felicity says, Jeremy, you're a great commentator, but it's not Sayabonga, it's Siyabonga. As in what Jonathan and Tutu did in Zulu, saying, giving thanks. Thanks for that, Felicity. Siyabonga. Well done to Jonathan.
Good to know.
Felicity, do you
we
know...
need a lot of reading and directing, don't we, Jeremy?
We
so
do,
it's
yeah.
nice that these people are helping us out.
Felicity, while you're on, has Jonathan had a baby? Can you tell us
for
that?
The women's 100 metres, T35.
And Karen Laxton pointing out that the brave cameraman inside the cauldron is still doing a good job with that shot looking up through the flame.
The medals will be presented by
And it's
Mr.
warmer
Ed
today.
Warner,
It is warm
Chairman
today.
of the International Paralympic Committee, Athletics,
Ed Warner,
who
yeah.
is accompanied by Mr. Chris Morley, Managing Director of Nielsen, UK and Ireland. Ladies and gentlemen, the bronze medalist, representing Canada, Virginia McClatchlan.
Virginia from Canada. Paula Pugh says, visiting the Olympic Park and watching many Paralympic events has been one of the most incredible experiences of my life. And Chris Hockman says, the odd thing about Australia, South Africa wearing green and gold is that Australia went with a full green at the front, so they look a little bit South African. Imitation is the most sincere form of flattery.
Representing Italy, Oksana Corso. Ladies and gentlemen, the gold medalist, a Paralympic champion, representing the People's Republic of China, Liu Ping.
Liu Ping of China gets the gold medal. Hannah Kay says 13 Paralympic gold medals for Natalie Detoy. Sorry, Natalie Detoy. You are a hero. 13 Paralympic golds, Natalie Detoy in the swimming. We can't see the swimming because we're at the athletics. But well done, Natalie Detoy.
Please stand for the national anthem of the People's Republic of China. ladies and gentlemen, your Paralympic medalists.
So we have heard that Chinese anthem an awful lot. They are far and away the leaders of these Paralympics. They've put an awful lot of money into it with Beijing, and they've the good news is they've kept putting the money in, and they've done extremely well. So there's the result of the men's 5,000 metres. Valenzuela of Chile, Dunkley of Canada, and Shinya Wada of Japan getting the medals there. So back to the discus. This is Javad Hardani of Iran. He's in gold medal position at the moment. This is the F37, F38 category for cerebral palsy competitors. It's a joint category, so it's done on a point system. The more severely impaired, that's the F37s, won't have to throw as far. And they have a sliding scale. Depending on which classification they are, how many points they get. It's all worked out to make it fair between the two classifications, and it's the person with the most points that will win. At the moment, this guy's in the lead, Javad Hardani of Iran, ahead of Jie Dong of China, and Thomas Blatkiewicz of Poland in third place at the moment. So 52.91, he's improved his own world record. Javad Hardani going extremely well. This is Thomas Blatkiewicz of Poland, 39 years of age. He threw 45.49, then 50.84, 51.12 and 50.05. Ooh, he likes it.
Big throw.
He likes it.
Yeah, I think he does. He's waiting for confirmation. And you can see that sometimes the athletes have to simplify their throw in order where some will spin into it. Thing is, for him, if he spins into it, I think that has a more difficult time maintaining his balance, and it's not giving him the same energy.
So
and power.
He didn't spin at all, did he?
Didn't spin at all. That was really impressive.
So it's literally just his arm. And
just his arm. He spun afterwards.
Yeah. But because of the cerebral palsy, if he tried spinning, he might have lost his balance.
Exactly. And would have a more difficult time planting and throwing. Got the long jump going as well.
Oh, I'm glad we're seeing some long jump. I've had a few people on Twitter and Facebook saying, what's happened to the women's long jump? And I was beginning to wonder the same thing. We can only commentate on what they show us, and they've been concentrating rather a lot on the shot put and the discus and the track, but this is the first look at the women's long jump. Let me get my long jump notes out, and we'll try and keep you up to date with what's happening. It's a tough ask when we haven't been seeing it. That's Linda Hamri from Algeria, 5.31. Her first throw wasn't measured. And
first jump.
Sorry, her first jump wasn't measured. See, I'm still in shot put mode. Her first jump wasn't measured. And that is a new personal best for her, 5.31. So we did just see the one jump from Ilza Hayes earlier from South Africa, who's in the lead. And Linda Hamri of Algeria in second place. And it's Karagiani of Greece in third place at the moment. Korenchak of Ukraine in fourth, and Jessica Gallagher of Australia in fifth. And Joanna Pretorius of South Africa, the 19-year-old, not taking part. She was down on the start list, but she's got a DNS next to her game, did not start. So Joanna Pretorius not in the competition. Ilsa Hayes leads the competition. Now we're back on the track. Do feel sorry for the field athletes. They do get the short straw when it comes to the TV coverage. The track athletes get all the glory.
There's Richard Coleman from Australia. We've got Mickey Bushell. As you might hear, hometown favorite, won the 100 meters here.
And we've seen a lot of this guy this week, Brent Lakatos of Canada.
Yeah, he's gone well. He's been right in every race that he's finished.
Am I saying him right, Lakatos, or is it Lakatos?
I think that is. I'm not sure.
Could be Lakatos, couldn't it? But Lakatos, I think, is how a Canadian would say. It's hard to say.
And Zhao Yufi, China.
I don't have a Canadian wife, so I'm not so good on the Canadian pronunciations. Yu Shiran. He looks happy. And there's Li of China in lane 7. And outside him, another strong competitor, Aladouani of Kuwait. And then Silva of Brazil makes up the race.
You can see the Colemans in lane 2 that they're not using lane 1. Gets more and more challenging. In lane 1, that turn is just a bit sharper. And when you're going at speed. And it's Silva here, out in lane 9. So 8 people on the track.
So, Mickey Bushell, one to look for. Brent Lakatos. Zhao of China will be worth looking for, and Yu of China. In fact, all of the Chinese competitors. Li of China. Richard Coleman of Australia as well.
Yeah, it's
any
hard
of
to separate.
Any of them could win, really.
They really could.
Let's see who's away quickly. It looks to me like Brent Lakatos going very well from Canada, and Mickey Bushell in lane 3. Mickey Bushell in the white, Brent Lakatos in the black and white. Is Lakatos in the lead at the moment, up against the Chinese competitor Li. It's Li against Lakatos. Li from China against Brent Lakatos and the other Chinese competitors coming through, but it's Li who gets it from China. Lakatos in second place, and I couldn't see which of the other 2 Chinese competitors it was, but one of them got the bronze. Paralympic record.
And Li broke his own Paralympic record right there.
Li Huzhao of China, 23 years of age, 25.61. Brent Lakatos of Canada with a personal best, 25.85, and it was Zhao of China with 26 dead with a personal best, and Mickey Bushell of Great Britain, although he set a European record, 26.32, he's out of the medals. Yu of China, 26.46.
Super fast race all the way along. Really impressive. Just look at Lakatos and look at how his wheels are jumping in between turns because with that follow through, his hands come up so high. Pulling the chair off the ground.
So disappointment for Mickey Bushell, but he had his moment in the 100 metres.
He did. He went really fast in the 100 meters, that's for sure. After winning that 100 meters, though, you kind of think that he might have been in there in the 200 as well.
So I can confirm that the world record holder is still Chris Waddell. My co-commentator is still the world record holder in that event. You kept quiet, didn't you? You must have realised that your record still stood, but modestly you didn't say anything. But someone's just reminded me on Twitter here. SD Kretschmer says, nice, Chris, world record still stands.
It's nice to have people remember your name, really, is what it comes down to.
The guy next to me is not just some journalist, or he's a Paralympic world record holder, Chris Waddell from the United States of America, and he's the event we just saw, he's the world record holder in it.
We're getting some big throws out here. I don't think that's quite as long as
I'm building you up here, Chris.
I know, I appreciate that. I appreciate that, yes.
Yeah. But you're modestly knocking it down and putting it back on the competitors. Chris is a Paralympic ambassador now, and he likes the games to do the talking. He's had his time.
I have had more time.
Yeah, it's a good discus event, this one.
It is.
If he can get up. .51.55, so not as good as his world record that he threw with his third throw. So that means that Javed Hadani of Iran wins the gold medal. Jiadong of China. Even though he set a world record as well, the gold and the silver medalists uniquely have set world records in this because they're in different classes. Javed Hadani is an F38, which is a lesser impairment in cerebral palsy. Jiadong is an F37, which is more of an impairment. And on the point system, they both get world records. So gold to Iran, silver to China, and Thomas Blachowicz of Poland gets the bronze.
And actually, Jeremy, I don't think it's on the point system that they're getting the gold medals. That's on the raw score. The point system is how they're stacked when they're combining classes. But so their distance, so that distance goes in as a raw distance. There's no computation or anything.
Oh, okay.
On that.
So Javed Hadani, 52.91, is the gold medalist, and Jiadong, 55.81, the silver, and Thomas Blachowicz, 54.02, getting the bronze. So let's go back to the long jump. Karagiani of Greece in third place at the moment. Her second jump, 5 meters, 5.09 meters. And that's considerably further. Just the clue that we're watching a recording when you actually hear the tape whooshing backwards. Well, it's about 5:25 or so, I should say. 5:16. And that's better than her previous jump, but still leaves her in third place. Linda Hamri of Algeria in second, and Ilse Hayes of South Africa still leading.
Now you can see on the track that we have the men's 800 T52, which are the quadriplegics who have tricep. This is the big demarcation point for the quadriplegics between the T51 class and the T52 class, is whether they have the tricep or not, because the tricep is that pushing muscle, the muscle that allows you to straighten your arm out, where those in the T51 class are actually using the bicep, more of a pulling type of motion, using the shoulders and the bicep. So these guys go really fast. It's funny because I think a lot of people look at it and say, oh, well, quadriplegics, they're not going to, they can't do very much of anything for themselves. And these guys make you look at it and think, are they really quadriplegics? These guys are not quadriplegics. And I can see what you've written down on your sheet right now is that I think you've written a favorite down. Do you have a favorite, Jeremy?
I've just written down Martin USA. That's my prediction.
We've seen him win a couple of times. This is Ito from Japan.
And people watching will notice it does seem to be the same faces every night. There's quite a few of these competitors double up in more than one event.
They do. Wheelchair racing is more similar, and this is Raymond Martin right here, who has already won in the 100 meters and the 200 meters.
18 years of age.
The 100 and 400, right? Have we had the 200? I think it's 100 and 400. Thomas Gerstrecker from Austria. Got quite a helmet going there. It's a good look. AC/DC. I guess he's an AC/DC fan as well.
He looks like he might like heavy rock music to me.
Josh Roberts out in 7.
So I'm surprised at the choice of the colour of helmet that Thomas Gerstrecker has gone for, because it's not an Austrian colour, is it, which is red,
No.
red and white.
No, it's not.
But then Raymond Martin's got a black helmet, and that's not really American, is it?
No, sometimes with your helmet, you're getting whatever you get as far as color is concerned. This will be 800 meters, so 2 laps of the track. They'll stay in their lane throughout the first turn and then break at the end of the first turn, so that's 100 meters into it. Each turn is 100 meters. The straightaways are 100 meters.
Well, I think young Raymond Martin's going to be my favourite here because he just has had the most amazing games. Oh, they're just being called back a little bit.
Raymond Martin, we have Ito, and we have Giersplicker, who are all... So that's a false start with a green, which means that there's a false start issued to the whole field. Nobody is going to get kicked out of this race. Sometimes they can be a little bit less generous than they have been here with false starts.
And they're away, and Ito's going very well. Martin's going very well. He's in the lead at the moment, I would say. As the bend comes down, it's between Ito on the inside and Martin in the middle.
You can see that Tomas Giersplicker is trying to get in there. He's not the sprinter that the other two are. So he's got to close that gap so that he hopefully has an opportunity to sprint off of it. And Raymond Martin's going right to the front. And so there's a bit of a gap. There's not really all that much of a draft behind Martin if Ito is that far behind him.
2 laps of the track. Raymond Martin. He's won just about everything he's been in so far in the games, but Ito is tracking him, and the orange figure of Thomas Gierspickler of Austria in 3rd place at the moment, but just being caught as they go to the bell. It looks like it's going to be between Raymond Martin and Tomoya Ito. Who do you think is going to win this one?
I think Martin is, and what makes me think that is I'm looking at his teammate, not just his U.S. teammate, but his college teammate at the University of Illinois, Tatiana McFadden, who went straight to the front in her 800 meters twice, had the athlete come in, get into the draft, and then turned and out-sprinted that athlete. And I think that's what we can see right here from Martin as well. He missed the stroke there, just trying to get his track steering. There's a little triangle hanging below their frame that turns the front wheel, and he missed on that. That cost him a little bit of momentum, but it looks like it's not costing him very much of anything at this point. So he's got that 100 meters, and Ito has come out into 3 to try to close the gap. And we'll see Ito's making a little bit of time, but it looks like Raymond Martin is going to hold on, and this kid is going to set the standard in this class for a long time.
It's gold for Raymond Martin. What a fantastic games he's had. Gold in the 800 meters.
And always impressive when somebody can go from the front. He was at the front the whole time in the 800 meters, and he just established himself as the strongest competitor out there, because Ito had the benefit, about a 25% benefit, sitting behind him, where he was saving energy and still couldn't come around him.
He's the only person who's been under 2 minutes this year. Well, he did 1:55.67, but today 2 minutes 0.34. And he goes and collects his stars and stripes, and off he goes on his lap of honour. And Ito of Japan has to settle for silver, but he's with a season's best. And it's Perez Juaz, Mexico, 19-year-old, with a personal best of 2:01.18.
Great race, but Raymond Martin just looks really, really strong. And he's a kid who at 18 is just coming into his own. He's going to start filling out. He's going to get a whole lot stronger. Adam Blakeney at the University of Illinois is going to have him in the weight room, and he's going to put some serious power, some weight and some size on as he moves on. But right now he looks great.
So congratulations to Raymond Martin from the States on his gold medal, and congratulations to Ilse Hayes from South Africa, who's won the gold medal in the women's long jump, ahead of Linda Hamri of Algeria and Karagiani of Greece getting the bronze. But we'll stay with Raymond Martin as he does his lap of honour. Hopefully we'll be able to show you Ilse Hayes' jump. 5:70 was her furthest one, which was her second jump. She then had 3 no jumps altogether, and other jumps of 5:51 and 5:52. Don't forget, if you have missed anything at the Paralympics, it's always worth checking youtube.com, looking at the Paralympic Sport TV channel. Lots of the events recorded and put on there. So if you have missed them at any point, do check out the web. very exciting last night, Chris, when I was here with Katrina Webb with the last two events of the night on the track, the Brits winning, Johnny Peacock and David Weir, the Werewolf of London.
The Werewolf of London. Have you just coined that?
That's what he's been. His mates have started calling the Werewolf of London. So last night when he won the race, as he went over the line, I went, David Weir, the Werewolf of London. Ow!
He has been one of, if not the most impressive athlete that I've seen on the track at these games. Just absolutely phenomenal. Doesn't look like anybody else has a chance in his races.
Tyrone Pile says, well done, Ilza Hayes, our golden girl, you rock. We'll show you some Ilza pictures as soon as we get them. Here's Todd Hodgetts, who's won the men's shot put, the F20 category. He's running into the crowd to get his Australian flag. For a while there, you may have thought he'd picked up the Union Jack by mistake, but once it unfurled, it is the Australian flag with the Union Jack in the corner, and then the stars. And he's off on his lap of the track. So there's the result of the men's shot put. Todd Hodgetts with the world record 6:29. Jeffrey Ige of Sweden getting the silver. And Mohamed Zayed Zulkefli of Malaysia 15:21. So lots of congratulations on the Facebook page to Ilza Hayes on the gold for South Africa, and Raymond Martin for his gold in the 800 metres. And next up we've got the men's 400 metres, the T54 category. Zhang of China, the world record holder and the Paralympic record holder.
At 45:07, which is an average of 20 miles an hour. So you've got to get up to that speed. You've got to get up to that average after a relatively slow start. Wheelchairs do not get up to speed nearly as quickly as runners do. These guys will be coming through that final 100 meters at 22, 23, 24 miles an hour. We've got Tati, who is the 100 meter winner, which is so impressive. World record in the 100 meters earlier this week from Finland. At no loss for strength. Kui, Chinese athlete. We do see a lot of Chinese athletes, don't we? Zhang in lane 4.
There's Kenny Van Wiegel. Doesn't wear a helmet.
You don't have to wear a helmet in 400 meters and below because you stay in your lane. You only have to wear a helmet once you start drafting, which is an interesting rule because it's not to say that things can't happen in the 400 meters. The hardest part about the 400 meters, I find, is when you're going at that speed. If you're going at 200 meters, you're going back into the turn, and it's hard to hold the turn, I find. These guys are the T54 class. I was in the T53 class, which makes it a little bit more challenging because we don't have the balance that the T54s have. We don't have the torso muscles. And Hoog's wearing his helmet because there's an aerodynamic advantage.
It's the
potentially.
It's the shiniest reflecting helmet. You can always see the cameraman in his helmet. I always think he's a bit like Judge Dredd with that helmet on.
That might be the look he's going for.
Marcel Hoog then, who's on paper the fastest this season. Kenny Van Wiegel of the Netherlands, look out for him as well, and of course the two Chinese competitors. Mark Xu of Germany as well, and Kongen of Thailand. In fact, you're
going to cover the whole field.
I'm picking the whole lot. I'll say Kenny Van Wiegel or Marcel Hoog. Here we go. Hoog in the outside lane from Switzerland. Kenny Van Wiegel already up on his man in lane 5.
Out in 7 or out in 8.
So Marcel Hoog has been taken already by Mark Xu of Germany. It's a good contest here, but Kenny Van Wiegel in the orange and white going well, but in the lead at the moment, Mark Schuh of Germany. Marcel Hug coming back, but he's got to go a long way around. Kenny Van Wiegel in the middle there in the orange and white going very well, but on the inside of him, Zhang of China. It's going to be between these two at the moment. Zhang of China just edging ahead. Kenny Van Wiegel coming back, but Zhang of China is going to get it. Zhang of China in the lead, Kenny Van Wiegel in second place, and just coming through to take the bronze, Kon Jen of Thailand. So I nearly called that one right. Kenny Van Wiegel came second. Zhang of China, 46.88 personal best. Kenny Van Wiegel, 47.12, another personal best. And season's best to Saishen Konjen, who got the bronze. Liu Cheng Ming with another personal best. And Tati of Finland with another personal best. So very quick track tonight. And there's the winner.
Yeah, great race there. This is where it all happens when you come off of this turn, and it's just a matter of how much do you have left. And one of the things that looked like it was tough for Van Wiegel was that he was bouncing his front wheel the whole time. And it's you want all of that energy to be going into going forward, to going straight. And that little bit of a bounce causes him a little bit of a slow down. The wheels are bent. People might wonder why there's the camber in the wheels, why they're not straight up and down. And there are two real reasons for it. One is that if they were straight up and down, you'd go around the turn and you'd fly up over the top, you'd fall over. The other thing is you can see right there where he has the black on the inside of his arms, and your inside of your arms will hit the push ring. So the push ring is that ring in the middle of the wheel that you can see right there.
Yeah.
And if it were straight up and down, that push ring would be right at the top. So the thing is that with the wheels being cambered out, you can get all that pressure into the wheel, get all the way to the bottom of the ring, which is really the fast part of the ring, without hitting your arm on the top of the wheel, or not hitting your arm on the top of the push ring nearly as much.
On Facebook, Nikki Garland just asking for you to explain how exactly they do that steering.
The steering, so it's what's called track steering, and so there's a little triangle, as I've mentioned, it's mounted to the frame. It's attached to the front of the wheel. And what you do on the practice track, these guys will go through and you usually go with the tailwind. So you go as fast as you can into the turn, and you just kind of dial it in with wing nuts, where you figure out what the arc is, and it's within a certain range because you've already set it for other tracks, but each track is different and the conditions are different. So you'll go as fast as you can into that, set it for that speed, and maybe even a little bit more, because it's easier to move your wheel outside than it is to move your wheel inside. And you see, like Kenny Van Wiegel was bouncing his wheel a little bit. It's easy to move that out. And so you hit that on the left, hit the triangle on the left to make the turn. You come out of it, and you hit it on the right, and it goes straight.
Shot put F20.
Good explanation.
Thank you.
Here's the shot put victory ceremony.
The medals will be presented by Mrs. Lina Adelson Gillerot, Minister of Sport for Sweden, who's accompanied by Mr. Bengt Lindstedt, Vice President of the International Sports Federations for Persons with an Intellectual Disability. Ladies and gentlemen, the bronze medalist, representing Malaysia, Mohammed Ziyad Zulkifli. Ladies and gentlemen, the silver medalist, representing Sweden, Jeffrey Igen.
Jeffrey Eads from Sweden, who pushed the Australian all the way. But there was only going to be one winner in the men's shot put tonight. As indeed there only ever is one winner. You're not allowed to have two, it's the law.
It's the law, exactly.
But what I meant was there was only ever going to be one person, and that was the man we're about to see from Australia.
And ladies and gentlemen, the gold medalist and Paralympic champion, representing Australia, Todd Hodgetts.
Looks like he had a bit of a signature move there, a little moonwalk kind of thing coming up. I don't know. I didn't quite. Maybe we can catch it on a replay. I didn't catch the whole thing.
Slight sort of Michael Jackson feel to it,
I guess. A lot of athletes are trying to stick out.
So we'll have the Australian anthem, and then we'll be back with the women's 1500 metres T54 final. And not long to go till we get the men's 400 metres T44 in about 50 minutes.
Those who are able, please stand for the national anthem of Australia. Ladies and gentlemen, your Paralympic medalists.
So Todd Hodgetts, a worthy winner. Had some good throwing action in the stadium tonight. And there's confirmation of the result of the 400 metres, T54. Zhang of China from Kenny Van Beagle, Liu of China getting the bronze. So there is Ilse Hayes. At last they're showing us some pictures of the women's long jump. Apologise we haven't seen more, but there's Ilse. And she has won the gold medal for South Africa with a jump of 5 metres 70. And there's confirmation of the win. Linda Hamri of Algeria and Tia Karagiani of Greece, 5.16. There's the result of the men's discus with the 2 world records, Javad Hadani of Iran and Jiedong of China getting silver. 2 world records because there's 2 different classifications in the event. Bradley says, why do some countries appear higher on the medals table when countries behind them have more medals? I know the answer to that one. It's because it's done on the number of gold medals.
It is.
But actually in America, I believe you do it on the total number of medals.
I think we do. I think we do.
Yeah.
Which total number of medals makes a lot of sense. You're in this and you're really happy if you win a medal, though gold makes sense too.
Yeah, America do it on the total number of medals, but the rest of the world do it on the number of golds.
And you're asking which is right?
I know which is right. The number of golds is the right way. The American way is wrong. You only do it like that because you enter everything so that you can get artificially high.
Artificially, wow, that sounds like quite a challenge. I think the Chinese might have a bit of an issue with that, Jeremy.
No. But I know that, particularly in the Olympics, it was a bit of a controversial because some of the medal tables, I think Britain goes higher if you do it on golds, and that's why I'm very much in favour of that system.
Interesting how everybody brings their own bias to a seemingly empirically pure qualification.
Sport is about winning, isn't it? Not coming third. So that's why it should be the number of golds. You don't want to say, yeah, we are the best in the world at coming third, second and first. You want to say we're the best in the world at winning. And that's why it has to be on golds. And even if you've got no silvers and bronzes, then you only bring them in as the sort of secondary category if you level on golds.
Interesting.
In my book.
It's well, apparently you've got a pretty... You have a book. Which is good.
He's made a lot of noise there.
It seems like that was a long throw.
Let's just see that again. Amazing to throw a discus from a seated position, because the whole thing about discus is it's a spinning around in the ring event. So there, all of that rotational energy you're having to do from a seated position where you can literally just turn while you're sat down. And it's a new world record, 32.61 for Hani Al-Nakakli.
I did say 2. He's actually sitting in second because it's a combined class. So he broke the world record in his class, but he's sitting in second in this event.
Twist and shout from the Beatles echoing around the Olympic Stadium, and some people in the crowd taking it literally and twisting and shouting, which actually is quite a good tune for the discus, because they do twist and shout in this.
Yes, they do.
It's all beautifully linked, isn't it? Someone's thought that through.
Now, I did see Abbey Road as I was driving to the hotel. Would that be the Abbey Road? Where is the Abbey Road?
It's St John's Wood, sort of the left-hand top end of Regent's Park.
Okay, you might have to explain a little bit more, because I'm not sure exactly where that is either.
Where?
I thought it was relatively close to here. It wouldn't be really. I mean, there can be another Abbey Road, obviously.
Yeah, no, the Beatles Abbey Road's nowhere near here.
Okay.
Beatles Abbey Road is sort of out towards Baker Street, Regent's Park.
Okay.
Up towards, it's quite near Lord's Cricket Ground.
Okay.
It's in sort of north, not really North London, northwestish London. It's nowhere near here. We're in East London. Yeah, so Abbey Road's probably quite a popular name, isn't it? It'll just be the road on the way to the Abbey, and we had loads of abbeys here.
Good point.
Till Henry VIII started destroying them all. But then the roads were still called Abbey Road.
You can't destroy everything, apparently.
You can tell the Abbey Road studio where the Beatles did their recordings, because there's a very famous zebra crossing outside it.
Okay, oh, right.
Which features on the album cover.
Sure, exactly.
For Abbey Road. And if you're in a car, you'll pretty much get held up, because there will be some tourists walking across it having their picture taken in the style of the Beatles.
Imagine there are thousands and thousands of them who do that every year.
Absolutely. And there's the aerial shot of the Olympic Stadium. You can see the Riverside Arena there where the football events take place. You can see the warm-up track out the back. And in the distance you can see London's financial centre, Canary Wharf. Remember when I bought my first flat in Docklands, there was just one skyscraper there in the mid-90s. The whole Docklands area was a bit of a disaster. It had gone bankrupt, and now there's 6, 7, 8 skyscrapers, and the area's thriving, and the whole Docklands has been rebuilt, and we've got this marvellous Olympic Park as a legacy, and my flat's soared in value. So it's all good news.
It's all good news, exactly.
Sadly, we're renting it out, and I'm living in Twickenham, a long way away from where we are. But there we are. You can see the Orbit Tower, the red building, off to the left, which is was paid for by a steel billionaire, the Mittel Company. And people weren't sure when they saw the designs for it. I thought it was an April Fool the first time I saw the plans for that sculpture, because you hear these stories and you think, that can't be right. They can't build that. Looks like something off The Simpsons. And then when they did build it, it actually is magnificent, and it's a really eye-catching addition to the Olympic Park.
Have you been to the top?
No.
It's an observatory as well, right?
I don't care what it is. I don't like heights.
Okay.
I'm stopping down here. I get scared enough going skiing. Never mind going up there. Thank you very much.
You appreciate this aerial view then?
Would you go up there?
I think I'd go up there. Yeah. I'd be okay with that. We did watch the other night, as the stadium was packed, there were people in the observatory watching as well.
Probably people trying to get a view of the women's long jump, which they seem to be determined not to show us.
Right.
Do apologise for Ilse Hayes fans, but anyway, congratulations on our gold.
Wow. That's an impressive throw.
Very
As you
impressive.
mentioned, from a seated position, that's impressive.
Flies through the air. And I do admire the judges who get so close just so they can absolutely pinpoint the area where it landed. Abdul Rami.
Interesting race on the track now, Jeremy. We have the women's 1500 T54. Makes it really interesting because we have Shelley Woods in this race, who is one of the darlings, one of the British darlings, but has not been able to produce a medal yet. And sort of she and David Weir in some ways have come in as kind of equal favorites from the British crowd, and David's come through with 3 gold medals, and Shelley still has yet to produce. So we're kind of hoping that she's one to watch in this race. Tatiana McFadden is also going to be somebody to watch. Shirley Riley, Edith Wolf. It's going to be a great race. Edith is one who's come in and has really run. Got Amanda McCrory right there, who's definitely one to watch. Shirley Woods, big cheer, understandably so. Jade Jones, another Brit. Edith Wolf, who's pushing really well. Diane Waugh from Canada. You can see they're not all in their lanes here.
Is it Diane Roy? I've been calling her Diane Roy. Is it?
It's Diane Roy. Yeah, she's
French Canadian.
She's French Canadian.
Okay.
Like the king.
Add that to the list of names I've been getting wrong. And off we go.
This is 3 3/4 laps, Jeremy. 1,500 meters. 100 meters short of a mile. And you can see this is going to be a tactical race where people start sitting up. Edith Wolf going to the front.
And you can see as Edith Wolf goes to the front there, the Chinese competitor could easily have gone across, but she slowed down her strokes so that she would just be tucked in behind in 4th place.
And Edith is keeping this an honest race. It was not necessarily an honest start there. Not that there was anything dishonest going on, but it didn't look like a lot of people wanted to go to the front of the race. Everybody's trying to be pretty strategic, which is something that David Weir has done really well. You always see him, and he's in a great position. Edith is pulling off into lane 2.
So just explain what you mean by honest race then.
Well, an honest race is where people are going out and going at speed right from the beginning. You can see where this is getting to be a much more tactical race. People are not pushing with a regular cadence. Got Shirley Riley out in front, who's decided to slow it down a little bit. The pack starts to bulge a little. And then the question is who's going to pull it? Shelley Woods is going to the front right now out of lane 3.
And you can hear the crowd
she's sitting
roaring
at the front. Shelley is somebody who does not have a sprint to match the sprints of some of the other racers. We've seen great sprints from Tatiana McFadden. A few of the others, Edith Wolf has a great sprint. Shirley Riley was right there. And the question is, how do you make this race work for you?
So Riley of USA on the inside, Wolf of Switzerland just on her shoulder. It's Free of Canada and Woods of Great Britain.
And you can see that it's not a very fast race. When the people at the back are not pushing at all, they've made it pretty easy. And Edith's going back to the front, trying to see if she can open it up a little bit. And I think the question for Shelley is, when does she go? A lot of people will go at 400 meters, 400, 300, 200, 100.
Shelley needs to go
But Shelley needs
early
to go earlier.
because she doesn't have the sprint finish. Shelley Woods of Great Britain with the yellow wheelchair. It's the easiest way to spot her. You see the Union Jack, the blue and white on the back from behind, but it's the Swiss Miss in the lead. Wolf at the moment. Riley of USA on the inside. Shelley Woods has got herself a little bit boxed in here.
And Amanda McCrory's going to make a move right now. Tatiana McFadden, her teammate, is following out in lane 4. This is 4 wide with 400 meters to go. And Tatiana is putting in a surge right now to try to get to the front. And she's moving fast.
And Shelley Woods has been boxed in, and now she's going to have to come all the way around the outside. But it's between these two at the moment.
And Tatiana's trying to get trying to get a little bit of a gap on Edith so that she can get into lane 1 for this turn and not have to go the long way around lane 1. And if she does that, I think that she's going to be in pretty good shape. She went from 400 meters, which is a long ways out, but she's looked really, really strong right here, and she's opening up a gap. You can see coming off of that turn, maintaining the momentum coming off the turn. Edith is in second. Shirley Riley is trying to close that gap. And we see Dianroy trying to get in there for the bronze. It looks like it's going to be Tatiana McFadden, who really looks phenomenal in these games.
She looked incredible the way she came through there. She timed it just right. She got to the front and she held on. Tatiana McFadden of the United States, 23 years of age. She's had a great games and she's won that in a time of 3:36.42. Edith Wolf from Switzerland, who was there and thereabouts for most of the race, 40 years of age. She's finished in a time of 3:36.78. And Shirley Riley from the States, 27 years old, 3:37.03. And Diane Roy of Canada. And then Zhu Li Hong. And once again, Shelley Woods has missed out. And whereas David Weir has lived up to his promise, Shelley hasn't. She got a bit boxed in.
She got a bit boxed in, and I think it really is a challenge that I think she had to go out and challenge people a little bit more, just in terms of making it a longer sprint to the finish, maintaining that speed. But I think she's also really looking forward to the marathon that'll be this weekend. That'll be the final event.
So not long to go now till we have the men's T44 with Oscar Pistorius in action in the heats in his best event. He missed out in the 100 metres last night. He got silver in the 200 metres, but it's the 400 metres tonight, and that's due to go off at 9:45. And Oscar's heat will be at around about 9:52, and everything's pretty much to time at the moment. There's the result of the 1500 metres then. You surprised at that, McFadden?
I'm not surprised at that at all. I would say that she was the favorite coming in. I think Edith's been running really well as well. Shirley Riley looks great. She looked great in the 5,000 meters, losing to Edith, but looked great in the 5,000 meters. That's what I think that Shelley Woods was the wild card in this, just because she was the one who might be able to dictate a change in pace and change the dynamic of the race. You can see just how packed this stadium is too. This is amazing. You look around and you can't see an empty seat anywhere.
We've been so lucky with the weather as well, because it can be decidedly dodgy, the weather sometimes towards the end of the summer. It's a lovely...
Didn't you tell me that it's beautiful like this all the time?
Yeah, no, it's
London,
not.
right?
It's not.
No?
That's,
okay.
That's just information I'm given from the marketing board. But
Chamber of Commerce here in London.
No, it's not usually cold at this time of year, but it can rain a lot and it can be windy, and it's just lovely and still and just a lovely temperature. You can see nobody needing to put on even a jumper, never mind a coat. And here we have a Mexican wave. These people are trying to start a Mexican wave. It's a very hard thing to start. You have to really be confident that everyone around you is going to jump up when you jump up. They are going to put their hands up and they are going to make a noise. And this little group here have been trying to get one started and no one's joining in.
It hasn't worked very well. I was in the stadium last night and somebody literally called it out, counted it out, and it still didn't work.
Oh dear.
They're counting really loudly too.
That is the trouble with Brits, is they don't like being told what to do. If they think it's their idea, it's great, but if you tell them what to do, then they'll try and spoil it.
So you really have to sell it well.
Funny group of people. There we go.
You said it, not me.
Well, I've always been one.
Funny person or
No,
or Brit?
I've always been a Brit, yeah.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. Apart from a few years when I was Australian. No, I wasn't. I've always been British. And they also like to wave at the camera when they're on the television.
I think that thing, that might be something that's relatively universal.
Is it?
I think that most people enjoy being on, well, that guy might not enjoy being on the camera. He's looking around at everybody else.
But this is something you often see now on people's phones. Go Team GB.
Right. So is that an app that you can download?
I believe it is. I believe the young people know how to download that. I don't.
Right, exactly.
And it scrolls across. But I've noticed at Glastonbury, the big music festival, people were holding up and you could send messages to people back home saying, will you marry me, or I love you, and that kind of thing that romantic people like to say on their smartphones. It's a scrolling app. I don't know how it works.
That is probably as romantic as it gets, too, on a smartphone, isn't it?
Yeah, I would think so.
Just panning through the stadium. It's a beautiful place. It really is. Fast track.
So you were there last night. What were your favourite moments? I was commentating with Katrina.
I think it's hard not to look at David Weir. I mean, you get drawn into the excitement of the hometown team. David Weir winning 3, looking so impressive in the 800. I don't know that anybody can really come past him. It's funny that we're talking about David and Shelley coming into this as sort of, the representatives of the wheelchair side. And I think that the person who's running very similar to David on the female side is Tatiana McFadden, where she just has that speed that it doesn't look like anybody's going to come past her. And Peacock, the whole place was cheering for Johnny Peacock as well, so I got drawn into it.
So we've got the 400 metres, the T11 final. Macunda of France, Prado of Brazil, Silva of Brazil doesn't start, and Armando of Angola. Now that's a shame that Silva of Brazil doesn't start, and if he doesn't start, why is it that the next person in the qualifying couldn't have stepped up to the final?
It's a good question, and I don't have a good answer for that.
It's a shame, isn't it? Because to appear in a Paralympic final will be a lot of people's dreams. There's the famous glasses of Lucas Prado, make him look a little bit like an insect.
With the Brazilian flag on his glasses.
With the Brazilian flag on, but it just looks like he's got massive blue eyes.
It does.
It is the flag.
And this is the T11 class, where you can see that the runners are wearing blindfolds so that there is no sight. If they have any kind of sight at all, they are not seeing that.
So just again to repeat that Daniel Silva we were expecting in lane 5, and he is not starting. So there's just 3 runners with their guides.
400 meters, one tour of the track, 1 lap.
Tour, that's a fancy word.
It is a fancy word, isn't it? All 4 letters of it.
And being a tour, of course, they have a guide with them, a tour guide.
Oh, well done, well done. I could see those wheels turning.
Yeah. Do you have those guides in America and they hold like an umbrella or a hat or something so that everyone in the party follows them? We have them here on like Jack the Ripper walking tours or something.
Oh,
so
we probably do. I'm sure we do. We don't have any Jack the Ripper walking tours, though, because that wouldn't make sense, right?
Do you have umbrellas?
We have umbrellas, not as much as you.
We have a lot of umbrellas. So it's the 400 metres T11 final. Complete silence in the crowd for the blind runners who need to hear their guides. And it's Armando of Angola closest to us, Prado of Brazil in the middle, and on the inside it's Macunda of France. And Armando of Angola absolutely flying in that outside lane. Waiting to see how this turns out, but Armando of Angola has gone off extremely quickly. Prado of Brazil quite a long way back, and Macunda of France struggling to keep up at the moment. But it looks like Armando of Angola is going to be ahead as they come round the bend here. The Brazilian Prado will come inside him a bit, but I think Armando of Angola, the guide just keeping him in the lane there, just having a quiet word with him, or probably having to shout above the crowd, but the Brazilian's coming back at him. Prado of Brazil with those glasses on. Armando from Angola is going to get it though. It's Armando from Angola, from Prado from Brazil, and Macunda of France. And at the line, the gold medal goes to Armando from Angola. Prado from Brazil gets the silver, and bronze to Makunda of France. It's a gold for Angola, and we don't often say that.
You don't. What a great race. He measured himself right to the line. You could see that he was falling apart in that last 50 meters. He was doing absolutely everything he could to maintain.
He ran it like a 200 meters, didn't he?
Oh, he did. He was trying to maintain any kind of form, and I don't know that he was actually maintaining any form. He was just trying to keep going. Put the feet down. Your muscles can go totally numb at that point. You lose all sense of coordination, and it is one of the hardest things just to maintain that turnover and not slow yourself down, not go backwards effectively.
So Jose Sayovo Armando, 39 years of age, with a personal best of 50.75. His previous personal best was 52.04.
That's a big chunk.
So he's taken 1.3 seconds off his PB. That's phenomenal. Season's best for Lucas Prado, who did his best in 51.44, and Gauthier Trésor Makunda of France at 28 years of age, 52.45.
You can see the guide celebrating. Armando's still trying to get a little bit of oxygen into his lungs and try to get rid of some of that lactic acid, I believe. There are times that you can finish something like that and your hair hurts.
Have you ever seen a race where somebody runs it like a 200 meters and then tries to keep going and literally does just tie up?
Oh yeah, it happens all the time, and sometimes that is strategic on the part of the athlete, where you try to figure out, okay, well, I start relatively well, let's see if I can do this and then hang on, and that's the challenge. It's you try to train specifically for the full 400 meters, and oftentimes you'll go out and you'll do 600 meters to train yourself to finish as well as you can, but that last 100 meters of the 400 for me, it was always the toughest part, just trying to figure out how to continue to move forward and not just lose all form and all sense of
the muscles
power.
tighten up and you get the lactic acid, and
you become totally uncoordinated. It's absolutely amazing. Everything sort of turns to mush, and
especially for these blind athletes, when they can't see how much further there is to go. They must wonder, is the guide telling me there's only 50 meters to go, or is he just sort of trying to soften the blow for me and there's actually 100 meters to go?
They're in a similar position to just about everybody, in that you're wondering, is the finish line ever going to come? Is this finish line ever going to come? And there are times that you feel great and you go right through the finish line and everything feels great. So this is the T42 100 meters. These are the above the knee amputees, which to me is really interesting, and we end up with a couple of different. So this is so Richard Whitehead actually is kind of an interesting case in this. Where
now, can I just declare an interest here?
Yes, I think you're going to,
because all of these athletes, you've been looking at them and you've known them. Richard Whitehead, I've been to his house.
No way.
I've been to Richard Whitehead's house in Nottingham, in Gampston, and I did a feature on him for the BBC. I met him at the BBC Sports Awards, interviewed him there, went to his house, filmed him running, and an extraordinary chap. One of the strangest things I ever had to say to someone when I had a camera crew with me was, can I film you taking your legs off and putting your racing legs on? And he said, yeah, of course you can.
You don't say that to people most days.
No. So he's a above the knee amputee, and so he runs in a very straight-legged style.
His legs are totally locked out. So there is no knee in his legs, and you'll see that he starts slowly, which is one of the challenges for the bilateral amputees, the amputees with two blades, as opposed to one blade. Those with one blade generally start more quickly, and Richard will be hard pressed to catch up to the field.
Yes, he's a better
in this event.
He's a 200-meter runner, really,
and he won in the 200 meters.
He did win the 200 meters. Now he's actually a marathon runner, really, and he was hoping to run in a marathon at the Paralympics, but there isn't a marathon for his category, and so there's literally just the 100 and the 200. And he was furious about it because his dream had been to run in the Paralympic marathon, and then there wasn't one for his category. So he said to me, so I picked the 200 meters to run in because that's the longest one and it was more like a marathon than 100. And he went and did it at the World Championships, and he said he was in the changing rooms before the event, and they were all saying, I think so-and-so will finish, I think you'll finish first, and they thought he would finish 8th, and he won it, and he set a world record a few months later. So a phenomenal. When you think how different in shape a marathon runner is to a sprinter, to
entirely different.
Entirely. So I don't think
Which speaks to how great an athlete he is.
Yeah. So I'll be cheering for Richard. I don't think he'll do it here because it takes him too long to get going, and he's more, so the 200 is more suited to him. So anyway, that's who I know. You know more about this. Tell me who's going to win this.
I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be a tough challenge here. Shaquille Vance definitely somebody who could be in it. We have the world record holder Earl Connor from Canada, but he's retired and then come back, so he's still trying to gain some of his form. I think actually I would go with the German, with Heinrich Poppel. So Reardon looks good. The faster athletes are generally in the middle here.
Wojciech Siege.
There's Earl Connor.
And now listen to this cheer for Richard Whitehead. They call him the British Blade Runner. Oscar, of course, the original Blade Runner. Here's the Brit. He's a lovely bloke, actually. Smashing chap. Makes a nice cup of tea as well.
Which is always important.
Always important in a British house.
Yes, it is.
Made one for me and my cameraman. And Clavel from France on the outside.
Yeah, this is going to be a tough race to call, I think. So I'm actually going to change over, and I'm going to go with the old guy, just because I feel kind of partial.
You're changing horses midstream. Which
I am. So I'm going to go with Earl Connor. I'm going to go with the existing world record holder who's come out of retirement to come back and race.
Okay. So Connor of Canada in lane 7. And other people to watch out for: Poppau of Germany in 4, Reardon of Australia in 5, Siege of Germany in 6. And I'll be rooting for Richard Whitehead in 8, but I think it's he's the one standing up, but it'll be too short a distance for him. And away they go. And it's the Australian who's leading the way at the moment. Reardon from Australia, but on his left, Poppau of Germany. It's the Australian, Reardon, Poppau from Germany. What a great race that is. Heinrich Poppau of Germany just getting ahead of Scott Reardon from Australia.
Great race. Shows me I shouldn't have changed horses, right?
You were on the right horse and you jumped over just before they came out of the...
Sentimental favorite is what I went for, actually. Great race by Poppau. Great race to see as well. I mean, that was just an exciting race right from the beginning, where everybody was packed in there.
It's a European record for Heinrich Poppau, 12:40.
You can see him just squeezing every last little bit of energy out of that race.
And Richard Whitehead, who came in second last, but you can just see he has a straight-legged running style. He's always going to be at a disadvantage. But he won the gold in the 200, because once he gets going, he absolutely bombs it. But at this stage, the Aussie was looking good. Scott Reardon, but Heinrich Poppau just comes past him here to get the gold medal for Germany. Silver for Australia, and Siege of Germany gets the bronze as well with the season's best, 12:52. Earl Connor, who you picked late in the day, came 4th ahead of the Frenchman.
It's a good showing, but I'm sure that's not what he's training for. We're getting closer and closer, aren't we, Jeremy, to the ultimate race of the evening, which
men's
will be the
400.
final race.
Yeah, the men's 400 metres, the T44. We've got 2 rounds of that. A couple of heats. We've got Oliveira of Brazil in the first one, and we've got Oscar Pistorius in the second one. Let's just enjoy this lap of honour for these 100 metres runners. Starting to get the Oscar messages through from all the South African viewers watching. Go Oscar, says Fee Giza, sending you luck from Durban, South Africa. Was watching Johnny Peacock win last night against Oscar Pistorius, who was his big hero, and Arno Fari was in the race. And someone sent me a message today saying in South Africa they say for Arno Fari, Fari's a jolly good fella. And I wish I'd known that yesterday. It would have made more sense when he was running. But there we are. Maddie Khalid says, late night of watching the Paralympics is beginning to catch up with me. Coffee isn't helping anymore. My eyes are tired, but I'll stay awake for Oscar. Go Team South Africa. And Stacey Kay says she's only just tuned in. How are we going to manage once it's all done? The discus continuing out there, just catching up with the field events while we wait for the big race of the night. 400 metres, it's only a heat, but it's Oscar Pistorius' favourite event. And he'll be hoping to overcome the disappointment of the 100 metres, which is a little bit short for him.
He did make a point, though, too, that he's broken 2 world records while he's been here. He broke the 200-meter world record while he was in the heats of the 200, won silver. And then with his team, which I think Oscar is the kind of guy who feels that his team is more important than he is as an individual, he broke the 4x100 world record as well.
And incidentally, if you want to see that 4x100 world record, it's on YouTube on our Paralympic Sport TV channel. Just go to youtube.com, put in Paralympic Sport TV as the channel, or you can go to paralympicsport.tv and it takes you straight there with all the highlights from London 2012. And now it's the victory ceremony. Looks like Seb Coe again. And is that Tanny Gray-Thompson?
Will be presented by Sebastian Coe, Chair LOCOG and Vice President of the International Association of Athletics Federations.
He's a pretty amazing guy, isn't he?
Mrs. Angela Hendra, MBE,
Angela
Chair
Hendra.
of Disability Sport, Northern Ireland.
Big cheer for the Chair of Disability Sport from Northern Ireland.
Ladies and gentlemen, the bronze medalist, representing the People's Republic of China, Liu Chengming.
Just while we've got the global audience here, people are always asking me, what's the difference between England, Great Britain and the United Kingdom? Well, Great Britain is England, Scotland and Wales, and the United Kingdom is England, Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland. So technically, Team GB is Team Great Britain and Northern Ireland.
Okay.
People don't understand that.
No, it's a great point.
I'll often be speaking in America or Australia or somewhere, and someone will say to me, "Oh, you're English. Oh, I've been to Edinburgh. Have you? Well, that's not in England. That's in Scotland. All right."
Ladies and gentlemen, the silver
We're not so good
medalist,
on our geography
representing
sometimes.
the Netherlands, Kenny van Fiegel.
England's the big bit. Scotland's the bit right up to the north. Wales is the bit off to the west. And Northern Ireland's the bit up in the top of Ireland. 4 very different countries, but all very proudly part of Great Britain and Northern Ireland.
With the Olympics and the Paralympics, that's the first time I've heard that described. I think it's important for our viewers and listeners to be able to know exactly that. That's a great point. Thank you.
And then if you talk about the British Isles, that's the Republic of Ireland as well. It's British Isles.
Representing the People's Republic of China, Zhang Li Xing.
But of course the Republic of Ireland, a completely different country.
Right.
As the name Republic suggests, the Queen is not in charge. And the interesting thing is, obviously we compete as Great Britain and Northern Ireland, United Kingdom in a lot of events, but in football, soccer as you'd call it, we compete as England, and our fiercest rivals will be Scotland.
Interesting.
And so we would not have the Union Jack flag at any English football event. We'd have the red cross on a white background, the St George's flag, which people across the world have no idea what that is. That's the English flag.
Stand for the national anthem of the People's Republic of China.
You'll know this tune by now.
medalists.
So we're building up to the big event, the heats of the men's 400 metres T44 with Oscar Pistorius and Oliveira of Brazil in action. Let's just see what the tweets are saying. And once again, lots in from South Africa. Bry's are out tonight. We're waiting for Oscar, says Judith. Jean-Marie Van Sale says, you can do it, Oscar. Valda Theron, Oscar behind you all the way. Mo Phillips says, is it just me or are all the Paralympians astonishingly good looking? I think it's just you. Although Chris Waddell with me in the studio, he's a looker, I can tell you. Etresia says, go Oscar, we're behind you all the way from your hometown of Pretoria. Good luck from Vanderbilt Park in South Africa. From Nankasupra. Apologise if I'm getting these pronunciations wrong. James McIndoe says, I think Oliveira will win. Once he gets into his stride, he's quick, but still supporting South Africa's Biscuit, Oscar. This is something we learnt last night. Biscuit means someone who's good looking.
Okay. Never heard that before, but it kind of made sense.
Yeah, I'd never heard it before either, but this is one of the great things about the Paralympics, is that we're learning a lot from other people's cultures. I've been spending alternate nights with an Australian and an American, and I feel like it's enriched me culturally.
You said that with a mostly straight face.
Mostly. There's Balaz of Algeria, who's just set a world record. 1,114 points. Hi to all the Bruce volunteers in the United States enjoying our coverage. Just a reminder, the man next to me is a world record holder, Chris Waddell, American Paralympian.
Oh, I don't know about that, Jeremy. I think that was a generous clock.
Well, the clock doesn't lie. Chante Leroux says, Oscar, Sydafrika is lief vir jou. South Africa loves you.
Well done.
Well, I expect I butchered the Afrikaans version, but South Africa loves you is what it means. Go, Oscar, go, says Judith. We're all behind you. And T. Spritz says China's currency will be going up with all the gold they're importing from the Paralympic Games.
That's pretty funny.
1500 meters T54.
I'm happy, Jeremy, that we'll finally get to hear our song. Not our song, but the U.S. song.
Do we have a song?
Do we have a song?
I had no idea, Chris. How romantic.
Federal Councillor of Switzerland,
the Star-Spangled Banner.
who is accompanied by Mr. Jim Mosley, Managing Director.
Somehow I don't think that'd be the one you'd choose.
UK.
No. I'm happy with God Save the Queen.
Ladies and gentlemen, the bronze medalist, representing the United States of America, Shirley Riley.
Well done, Shirley. Now, of course, God Save the Queen is the British anthem, but the English anthem is Land of Hope and Glory.
Ah, so you guys have a lot of flags and anthems. And
yeah, but you see, Scotland would have Flower of Scotland and Wales would have Bread of Heaven.
Okay.
So England would have Land of Hope and Glory if they were playing a match against the Welsh, say. Tanya Ellis says, all the best to Oscar Pistorius. Can't wait to watch the race. Up late every evening. Go Team South Africa. From Go to Africa in Cape Town.
Ladies and gentlemen, the silver medalist, representing Switzerland, Edith Wolf.
Edith from Switzerland. Kayla James, waiting patiently to hear my tweet mentioned at the Paralympic Athletics. It's not happening. Well, I've just read your tweet saying it's not happening, but I don't know what it was about. But hello, Kayla. And Natasha Zulberg says, come on, Oscar, you can do it. Natalie made us proud. Now it's your turn to make us proud again. So Edith Wolf with the silver in the women's 1500 metres. It was a great race. And here's the winner.
And Paralympic champion, representing the United States of America, Tatiana McFadden.
Well done, Tatiana. So
she's looking great.
She's had a great games, hasn't she?
Yes.
One for the future as well. She's only young.
And she'll be in it for the marathon, I believe, as well.
So she has a range of distances.
Range of distances, most definitely, which a lot of the wheelchair athletes do.
Ladies and gentlemen, as is customary, will those who are able please stand for the national anthem of the United States of America. Paralympic medalists.
Coming up for the photo opportunity, which this is a moment that's going to live for a lifetime, so great to capture it. Being an American, it's nice to see a couple of Americans on the podium to hear our anthem for the first time this evening.
Very somber tracksuits, grey tracksuits for the American teams this year.
They are, but the sneakers certainly, or trainers as you would call them.
Oh yeah.
Brighten them up a little bit, don't they?
Yes, they're very high on the Geiger counter, those radioactive trainers. So we haven't heard David Bowie Heroes tonight.
No.
Last night we heard it all the time. They seem to rotate the songs. Just
usually they stick with one, but
yeah. So this is Wang of China. He's already set a world record. Doesn't mess about. It's another big one.
Wow.
So you can see the judge goes in there and sticks a stick in at the point furthest back, and then there's a laser or some kind of electronic measuring device that goes back to the throwing position to measure the distance. The days of the old tape measure are long gone. And now we're out on the track for the 400 metres, T44, the big one we've been waiting for all night. It's only heats, and there's two of them. The first three in each heat, and the next two fastest will advance to the final. And there's the world record holder, Jim Bob Bizzell. Do you say Bizzell or Bizzle?
It's Bizzle.
Bizzle, Jim Bob Bizzle.
It's Bizzle.
And Blake Leaper, we've seen him a few times tonight, and Oliveira, the Brazilian who won the gold in the 200 metres ahead of Oscar Pistorius.
He's the big question mark, isn't he, in this race? He went so fast in that second 100 of the 200. If he goes that fast in the second 100, the third 100, and the fourth 100, where's he going to end up? But at the moment, as you mentioned, he has his personal best is 9 seconds behind Oscar's.
So Oscar's running in heat 2. There's just the 2 heats. This is the first heat.
Blake Leaper, leaping around.
Is that why he's called Blake Leaper?
I don't know. That seems appropriate. Oliveira.
So we're going to call this one between Leaper and Oliveira. And again, just a reminder, you just need to get in the top 3 to get into the final. 3 from each heat will go through, plus the 2 fastest runners-up.
And according to qualifying time, Leaper is the class of this field. His qualifying time is 3 seconds ahead of the next fastest runner.
But I would refer the honourable gentleman to Oliveira in the 200 metres when, if you watch my commentary, I'm completely caught out, where suddenly this Brazilian comes from nowhere, and fortunately I've watched other people's commentaries and everyone's like, well, where's he come from?
Alone.
Where's he come from?
Somebody said that most of the photographers on the track missed him because everybody was focused on the inside.
Of course they were. They were all focused on Oscar Pistorius. So here we go. It's the men's 400 metres, 1 lap of the track. And Liu of China's gone out very fast in the outside lane. Oliveira's going well in lane 7. And down the middle, Jack Swift of Australia has now been overtaken by Blake Leaper of the United States. But it's Oliveira of Brazil and Leaper of the United States. And these were the 2 we picked out, and it looks like they're both going to go through. Who's going to... Well, it doesn't really matter who wins. They won't want to give too much away. They'll be just intent on qualifying.
I think there's just a question of how fast can Oliveira go, and Leaper is closing in on him right now.
And Oliveira, I think, is deliberately slowing down not to give away his hand for the final. Blake Leaper...
It does look like he's just jogging right now.
He is just jogging. He's had a look at the big screen at the far end of the ground. He doesn't want to give anything away to his rivals on how fast he is, and I think sneakily he'll be very fast once the final comes.
I think that's it, because he looked like he shut it down at 100 meters.
He switched off his engine.
He really did.
And he took it out of gear and just coasted in.
Interesting.
So that's Blake
Leaper ran 0.05 of a second faster than his fastest time ever. But it looks like Oliveira already had it shut down by the time he came off the turn.
So Oliveira runs in a very straight style. Leaper runs with his blades splayed outwards, with his sort of heels going out either side. Whereas Oliveira runs in a very straightforward style.
This is the one where there are just a lot of questions coming out of this, and Oliveira raised a lot of those questions in the 200 meters.
Yeah, I think he's
raising more questions right now.
He's run a canny race there. And I think he's going to be the man to beat. I know it's Oscar's event, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Brazilian's not going to once again be a real competitor. So Blake Leaper qualifies, so does Oliveira, so does Liu of China. Scendoni of Italy will have to wait and see.
And Oliveira was 1.5 seconds faster than his former personal best, coasting in, running a 300 of the 400, maybe just a 250.
So he's definitely a sub-50 runner, isn't he?
He is definitely a sub-50 runner, and it's just a question of, is he sub-50, is he sub-45, is he sub-44?
Wang Yanzhang. Wow.
Wow.
Well,
that was huge.
And you can see where the cameras are. That nearly hit one of the cameras, one of the TV cameras, and they're expensive.
If you hit the camera, that's generally a good sign, I believe, especially the cameras that are out there.
Well, he's happy with it. But the cameras are a long way back. And they probably thought they were completely safe. And you can see how much further that lands than where they're expecting than the last line is. Well, it's just stupidly long. I mean, it's just a game-changing throw. It's the sort of throw that when they start saying, well, we'll have to change the discus, like in the javelin, when the javelin started going out of stadiums and they had to replace it with a different javelin. So 49.03, you won't be surprised to hear that is a world record.
That's 7 meters longer than his first throw. He's tapped into a little momentum here.
Yeah. And that was the winning throw. He's won the discus, Wang Yanzhang of China. Well, he goes over to the crowd, but instead of getting a flag from him, he's already got one in his back pocket. He gets it's the largest flag I've seen, I think, at the games.
It is. It's a big night for him.
It is.
That was a huge throw.
It's a huge flag.
I'm the champion!
Yeah, you certainly are the champion.
It might be the only English he knows, but he used it perfectly. Oh, maybe not.
Well, he knows quite a bit. So there's the result. Wang Yang Zhang, world record in the F54 category. Hani Anlakali, world record in the F53 category. And Lauri Balaz of Algeria getting a world record in the other category. So gold, silver and bronze. And world records to all three of them because of the different classifications. So Oscar will be out on the track shortly. Let's see what people are saying on Facebook. Barbie Visser says, go, Oscar, go, Scudyo Biscuit. Oscar says, Jacko, we stand behind you like we stand behind the Springboks in a Rugby World Cup final. Go, Oscar, you can do it. There is Oscar Pistorius. Nikki says, go, Oscar, let those blades tear up some tar. And Hestia says, congratulations to Ilza. So proud of all the South African athletes. There is Oscar Pistorius, whose personal best in this race is 45.39. Nobody else has a PB under 50 seconds.
They were speculating that Oliveira could run below 50 seconds.
I think he has done privately. He just hasn't done it in public and done it as a time.
Nobody's seen it, and I think he's the big surprise. We'll see what happens with Oscar here.
So people all over the world have stayed up to see the greatest Paralympian ever, on the track anyway. I would say, would you say he's the greatest Paralympian ever? Yeah, on the track?
He probably is, though there are a lot of other people who could lay claim to that.
Certainly the most famous, isn't he, because of the fact that he's crossed over into the Olympics.
That's the biggest thing, and that's going to be the biggest question, I believe, coming out of this. I think David Weir broke the record for most medals for a track athlete at this games. So there are arguments to be made on a variety of different fronts, but Oscar has brought the spotlight to the Paralympics.
And he's certainly the poster boy of London 2012, and the crowd love him. You can hear the roar for Oscar Pistorius.
They do. Rightfully so. He's a great athlete, great spokesman for the sport.
But he's not the only one in the race, and all these guys are heroes. David Behrer of Germany. And you can see Ivan Prokopiev of Russia in lane 6. Not only a double leg amputee, but an arm amputee as well.
Now, I was talking to somebody, and they were talking about the blade issue, and that it used to be relatively easy, that the width of your arms or the wingspan was how long your blades could be.
Yeah.
But there was an athlete named Tony Volpentest from the U.S. who, like the Russian athlete here, didn't have arms as well. And so then what do you do?
I don't know, but they're away. T44, round 1, heat 2. Oscar Pistorius going in lane 4, and he's away to a very good start. But Sato of Japan also off to a good start in the outside lane. Here comes Pistorius now. And it's Pistorius, he's already up there with Prince of the United States. Oscar Pistorius in lane 4. And he's coming round the bend here, getting an enormous cheer from the crowd. David Beer of Germany in second place. And it's David Prince of the States in third place. Oscar Pistorius, though, is going to win this one. He's looking really
shut
good.
It down right now, though.
He won't be going for a world record here. He'll be shutting it right down. And he'll just comfortably ease his way into the final. This is his favourite event. This is the one he's trained for. 100 metres was too short. The 200 metres he got beaten. But the 400 is his event. And Oscar Pistorius safely through to the final of the Paralympic 400 metres T44.
He broke the world record in the 200 meters in the heats and then didn't run as fast in the finals. He's not going to make that same mistake twice. He shut it down, though that did break the world record. It just happened to be 3 seconds above his personal best.
So 48.31, he qualifies. That is a season's best for Oscar. David Behrer of Germany, 51.37 with a European record, also qualifies. And David Prince of the States qualifies with a season's best, 52.29. He looked very, very relaxed there, Oscar Pistorius, didn't he?
Just a day's work. Just getting to the finals. Finals, there's going to be a lot of talk about the finals here, though.
Now, from what you've seen there, it's between Oscar Pistorius and Oliveira of Brazil. And the thing with Oliveira of Brazil is we don't know what his time is.
No.
Because he's just got a new personal best there, and he was shutting it right down.
Yes.
So, is it going to be heartbreak for Oscar again in the 400 final like it was in the 200?
That's a tough question to answer, because Oliveira, coming off of that turn, he shut it down so much, and we're assuming that he shut it down. And that it wasn't just a matter of that he got overpowered by the speed or whatever, that it was something that he couldn't keep up with. I mean, that's going to be one of the questions, but it looked like he was in perfect control and that he shut it down.
He shut it down. He wasn't tired. He wasn't injured. He was just not wanting to give too much away. And Oscar shut it down as well.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Oscar did it in a more traditional kind of way.
For the men's 200 meters, T53. The medals will be presented by Sir Keith Mills, Deputy Chair LOCOG, who is accompanied by Mr. Mark Elborn, President and Chief Executive of GE, UK and Ireland. Ladies and gentlemen, the bronze medalist, representing the People's Republic of China, Zihao Yufei. Ladies and gentlemen, the silver medalist, representing Canada, Brent Lakatos. Ladies and gentlemen, the gold medalist and Paralympic champion, representing the People's Republic of China, Li Hu Xiao. Gentlemen, as is customary, will those who are able please stand for the national anthem of the People's Republic of China. ladies and gentlemen, your Paralympic medalists.
So that concludes our coverage here from Paralympic Sport TV. Thanks to my co-commentator, Chris Woodell. Chris, what another great night.
This was wonderful. It's so exciting. I mean, great weather, great performances as usual, and something to look forward to with Oscar and Alain going forward in the 400 meters of the T44.
We'll see what happens with that one. Thanks for your company tonight, wherever in the world you've been watching. Coming up next on Paralympic Sport TV, a summary of the sports news.
Ladies and gentlemen, the victory ceremony for the men's 400 meters T11. The medals will be presented by Sir Charles Allen, CBE, board member LOCOG, who's accompanied by Mr. Mark Elborn, President and Chief Executive of GE, UK and Ireland. Ladies and gentlemen, the bronze medalist, representing France, Gaultier Trésor Makunda, and his guide runner, Antoine Lanieri. Ladies and gentlemen, the silver medalist, representing Brazil, Lucas Prado, and his guide runner, Letio Alves Martins. Gentlemen, the gold medalist and Paralympic champion, representing Angola, Jose Seovo Armando, and his guide runner, Nicolau Palanca. and gentlemen, as is customary, will those who are able please stand for the national anthem of Angola. Ladies and gentlemen, your Paralympic medalists.
And so ahead. Your umpire is Neil Montfort from Australia, and the assistant umpire is Leonor Di Mario from Brazil. On to table one. It's the women's class 1 to 3 gold match, representing the People's Republic of China, Liu Jing and Li Chan. Representing the Republic of Korea, Jung Sang-suk, Choi Hyun-ya and Cho Kyung-hee. Your umpire is Sathi Satur from India, and the assistant umpire representing Great Britain, Ross Wilson, Will Bailey and Aaron McKibben. Your umpire is Marta Zilli from Hungary, and the assistant umpire Alawi Balgaif from Qatar. On table 2, it's the men's class 6 to 8 gold medal match. Representing Poland, Marcin Skrzecki and Piotr Grucin. Representing Spain, Alvaro Valera and Jordi Morales. Your umpire is Angelo Eitmans from the Netherlands, the assistant umpire Zhang Yingqiu from the People's Republic of China. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the bronze and gold medal matches in the team event at the London 2012 Paralympics. So table 1, we have a gold medal match in the women's 1 to 3 class with the People's Republic of China playing the Republic of Korea. China full of quality in their lineup. Liu Jing is the class 1 to 2 world number 1 and Li Qian is the class 3 world